Here at Ask an Enemy, we do take full advantage of our freedom of speech, and from time to time we may say things that offend certain people. No one is forcing you to download and or listen to this podcast. So if you're easily offended, go back to watching your Kirk Cameron movies, you fucking pussy.
Hit it! Ah, yeah, just like that, the title's cue in. What's up, everybody? My name is JC, of course, creative director of Ask an Enemy Studios and creative protector of Howard Rourke. I'm joined once again by my boys, Jarrid from the March Divide and Hector G from Subharmonic City. I forgot to put productions, dude. Does it matter if I put productions or not?
I don't even know what the hell to put, so that's okay.
All right. So yeah, you guys thought it was going to be another 5 years, huh? Till episode 9.
Yeah.
What's going on?
3 episodes. I'm like your co-host at this point too.
Yeah. Seriously, dude. Hey, man, I'm cool with that. Yeah. So hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to do another episode because one of the things I kind of wanted to focus on last time was Jarrod's jams, because he had a new jam coming out. You gave it to me a little early, right? Because I think you said it came out today,
Yeah.
Jarrid? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jarrod's got a new jam called Numb. It's pretty sick. The video is playing in the background. We'll actually play it for you completely here in a bit after a little bit of an intro. And my boy Hector here is actually the dude who we were talking about last week, who basically filmed and directed all these videos. Hector, is that the way you would put it?
Filmed and directed.
Yeah.
I shot them. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say that. Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that in case anyone out there wants to do some videos, which is something I was trying to get Jacob from us to do last week, because you do some good work, man.
Thanks.
So,
I appreciate that.
yeah, totally. Since we've already introduced Jarrid a couple times here at these episodes, let's go ahead and start off with Hector. Go ahead and give us a bit of your background, man. If you know, it's up to you how far back you want to go, whether you want to talk about bands and stuff like that. Because we used to play together in a band called Devices and Shift. You joined for a little bit after a while. But it's up to you if you want to go that far, or if you just want to, you know, go into the subharmonic stuff and what you want to pimp.
Oh man, how far do I go back? Well, it was I don't know. I guess the spring of 1977. My parents met, and
All right, guys, just popped open a drink, so we're gonna be here a while.
cheers,
Yeah.
Jarrid. Are you
Cheers,
drinking
everybody.
tonight?
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, of course. All right, so I guess I've always loved, man, Headbangers Ball growing up. I remember spending the night
Awesome.
at my elementary school friend's house, and his older brother would turn on Headbangers Ball Saturday nights. I'm like, whoa, what's this? You know, my parents always listened to rock, so I grew up with rock. Like my dad's like a huge Black Sabbath fan, and then my stepdad loves like ELO and stuff like that. My mom, rock, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And music videos when MTV came out, like, cool. At that time, for years, I never considered doing it. I thought it would be cool, but never actually give it a thought to actually do them.
Right.
So music. I've always loved music. Huge fan. And always played in bands since I was like 14, 15. And then, I was a military brat, so we moved around. You know, we moved around.
Oh,
a
wow,
lot.
I never knew that
So
about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lived, I moved away 6th grade from here. We went to California, around the Irvine area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the LA area, megalopolis.
Right on.
Then we went to Hawaii, and that's where I had my first band while I was in Hawaii. And then we moved back here for like a year and a half. We went to Eastwood High School, was in bands also. Then we moved to Japan.
Oh, wow.
We spent 3 years in Japan, and that music scene was the best thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. Oh, you know, talk about unity. That scene is insane. I mean, everybody's friends. There's no attitude. There's no pretentiousness. Everyone is just cool and totally supportive of each other. It's crazy.
Right.
And I got a little, what are they called? High 8 video cameras?
High 8 cameras.
'Cause
Yeah, totally.
I had a job. And So I bought a camera
As you
and I
should to get
recorded.
some cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's all I did was record everything, the most mundane shit, just us hanging out, you know?
Right.
But still, never thought about doing anything with it. All right. Then we moved back to El Paso, Texas. Bands, we're going to go touring and stuff, but I had my daughter.
Mhm.
So I put everything aside to, you know, just, hey, kid, she needs to get taken care of, so whatnot. And that's it. I just made sure I always had a steady income to raise my daughter and stuff, you know?
Cool.
And I gave up I wouldn't say I gave up dreams of, but like,
Right,
my thing was
right. No, I get
stability.
you. Yeah, yeah.
So I guess I kind of became complacent in just jobs. I've had
see that.
long-term jobs, like 3 years and then 7 years. And then my last job, I spent like 7 years also.
Right on.
Until we got laid off. And that presented an opportunity to, like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do my own thing. I don't want to work another regular job anymore.
Right.
I don't. So I gave it a shot, and it's going pretty damn well.
Awesome,
Go
man.
figure.
Yeah, yeah. You and no wonder you and Jarrid probably hook up really well because Jarrid's doing the same thing with his music, man.
That is awesome too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched you guys' last episode, and your question to everybody was like, what was it exactly? Something about like, okay, they have their careers, or what stops them from like going out on tour?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're old now, you know, and
Yeah.
at this age, like a lot of us have careers,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's super hard and scary to risk all that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I
Like
mean, that's why it's a risk. Yeah, 100%. Totally.
But Jared's doing exactly that. I was going to comment. You're telling me that if any of you had the chance to actually be comfortable making a living doing this, you wouldn't instantly quit your jobs and do music, which we all love, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you asking or?
Well, that was the question I was going to ask.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I would
like-
100% in a heartbeat, man. Yeah.
You're doing it though. You're
Yeah. I mean,
That's-
I'm
that's
keeping
a
the day
version.
job, but yeah. Not for choice. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously you kind of have to because you still have to pay bills. But it's kind of one of those
But in
things.
your
where-
case,
yeah.
in your case, if your video game got huge, you would quit your job in an instant, right?
Oh yeah. No bones about it, man. 100%. Which is kind of one of the things I don't know if I ever asked you about that, Jarrid, because I remember you did after like the whole conversation thing. I think we got into some of that a while back, but we went into the idea of how you worked as like an insurance salesman for a good long while, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked for an insurance agency for
Yeah.
like 10 years after I did
Wow.
the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was doing this, like, I totally walked away from this stuff for a while. I was just kind of burnout, jaded, you know, jaded's a good word.
Yeah.
And I was doing really well with what I was doing, but, you know, I kind of one day picked it back up and it's hard to get away from, you know.
Right.
But what really broke the straw that broke the camel's back, I was able, you know, I was far enough into the company that I was able to really kind of do both and balance.
Mm-hmm.
But they got bought by a venture capital company. It was like a family mom and pop shop the whole time I worked there. And then but it was very profitable, and the company itself did really well.
Mm-hmm.
And the family sold it to this venture capital company, and I just did not want to work for some giant, you know, whatever company. So I was like,
Right.
all right, I'm gonna. And this was starting to go well. And I was really kind of starting to, you know, do well with this again. So I was like, fine, you know, I can do this, you know,
Yeah,
so, you know, so yeah, anyway, here I am.
No, yeah, that's awesome, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for Hector though, you got laid off. This wasn't because of this thing we're going through now, right? You got laid off quite a while back, and you've been
November
doing.
2017.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing is like you've been doing this for quite a while. It's not something that just happened in the last couple months. Like you've. So we'll get into this in a bit with like the videos that you've made and stuff because you've made quite a bit, dude. Like the ones you sent me, like there's plenty for us to go through, so we can kind of pick and choose. Because for those of you just jumping in, we are going to have a performance by Jarrid from the March Divide. He's going to play a couple songs for us. We'll scatter them into the show here, kind Because I did have a request. I didn't know if you were actually going to be able to pull it off. If like, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know what's how far back in your what is it? Your is it
repertoire?
Library? Repertoire. Yeah. Repertoire.
Yeah, I'll text you my Venmo, dude. It's cool.
Nice.
No problem.
There you go. No, dude, it's funny because at PAX South this year, PAX South is in San Antonio. There was a dude who was playing at some German kind of bar. It's like a pub, like a German pub. It was really cool. It's kind of outdoors or whatever. And he was doing like covers and stuff. He had one of those kind of like multi effects pedals and just had a couple of effects on his voice and stuff. It was really, really cool. Like it was the closest I'd been to watching a show in a long time, right? Because like I said, I've been doing the game development stuff, and and then to be in a completely other, like out of my element, but in another element that I'm in the element of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Osmosis or something. Yeah. So it was just cool to see that. And he was doing covers of like Tonic and Third Eye Blind and stuff. So like just some good fucking pop songs that you just want to hear. Like it was just the perfect time for it. And yeah, it's just like that kind of stuff was rad. I forgot where I was going with that because I actually was going to circle around with something. But yeah, it kind of goes with the idea of the theme of the episode this time, which was the guitar, the guy at the party with the guitar. Because I thought that was pretty neat. We were talking about that last week. But yeah, it's perfect. So Jarrod's going to play some songs for us. Do you guys want to talk about like this first video? Because I do want to play this video so people get to check it out. If they haven't yet, I think you dropped the video last night, Jarrod?
Day before, when it was like actually late Tuesday night, I made it public before I went to bed because a lot of the people that I've got a pretty strong online following, and a lot of them are like on the other side of the planet. So I thought I'd make it public so they could watch it, you know, while I was asleep.
Right. So literally anyway, other side of the planet, not you weren't just saying like East Coast or something.
Yeah, like awesome. Literally on the other planet. So
yeah. So again, we'll have some performances from you. So if those people are watching, hey man, they're gonna be up for a treat. I did ask for requests, but I did have a bunch of stuff that I was doing this week that I just kind of wasn't able to keep track of them. So I might have lost that in some of my messages here. But regardless, dude, I'm sure the jams you're gonna play are gonna be good. So Hector, you worked on this video for Jarrod. It's one of those videos where it's like a lyric video, right? Like you kind of went around, you had a bunch of footage. Did you have all this footage like captured beforehand, or was it something that you kind of listened to the song and then you're like, I'm kind of going to go for this vibe type thing? Like, what was your workflow for this particular video?
This one? All right. So I've done quite a few videos for Jarrod. Thank you for that, Jarrod.
Of course.
And there was one that we did before where it's this kind of style, and it did pretty well, you know.
Style in what sense? Like the lyric video thing, or
the lyric video thing? I think is starting to take off more and more. I mean, it's been around for a long time, you know?
Of course.
But particularly right now.
Go ahead, Jarrod.
The videos have been, my lyric videos have been working really well. My people that are into my stuff really dig them, you know? And so, and then with the distance that Hector and I have, it's also easier for us to just do them, you know, online. I also don't really like being in my videos because I'm crippling. My insecurity is crippling, you know.
Right.
Anyway, short story though. People really dig these lyric videos, so why fix it if it's not broke? You know, I want to give if people like it, I want to give them what they like. So that has a lot to do with it.
Right. Well, like so, I personally put a lot of emphasis. Like as a musician, I think personally, my strongest thing is lyrics, being able to write words. But like nowadays, distributing music, like when you do MP3s and stuff, like people don't get that, you know. And I wonder how people do like the lyrics in like iTunes and stuff like that, where people could like listen to your song and put lyrics in there. If I could do that, that would be really cool. Is that something you've ever thought of, or is that one of the reasons why you like these lyric videos? Like, do you like emphasizing the words?
You know, honestly, it depends on the song.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, you know,
Right.
a little harder on that one. But like I said, people seem to dig them.
Okay.
But also that you brought that up, now, like through my distributor, they require that I include the lyrics with everything. And,
Oh, wow.
and you can, like, for example, like if you share one of my songs on Instagram stories or whatever, like you can pull it up, you can have it in the lyrics scroll from like my fucking song.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing is becoming more prevalent to where the lyrics are more readily available, you know, to people. So
right on. So let's go ahead and play this, which is your new video for Numb, and your new song, which you dropped it hot this week. So yeah, let me go ahead and restart this, and we'll fade out and let it go full screen, and we'll come back after the video. Give me a quick sec, fellas.
I get by on what I know. I'm not a nice man, but I'm not a mean man. I just wanna be left alone. I'm not asleep, but I'm not awake. I'm just present mostly these days. I'm not a sane man, but I'm not crazy. I just dwell on certain things. 'Cause I'm not
Fucking A, man. That's a solid jam, dude.
Doesn't it
That's
rock?
a solid jam. Yeah, totally. So Jacob in the chat says the vibrating string thing kicks ass, and I think that's kind of like it's like a trademark Subharmonic thing that you've been doing lately, dude. Because even in that Dreamcatcher video, there's some, you know, like what did you do for that? Like, did you use like just a fast 240, you know, frames per second thing, and then just play it normal for like the actual video editing of it, or?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow,
exactly
okay.
that.
All right.
Mm-hmm. The camera has a feature called variable frame rate, where you could film it at up to 360 frames per second, I think. But when you crank it that high, it loses a lot of quality.
Okay.
But yeah, exactly that. And there's to get that particular look,
Yeah.
there is a very specific secret that I use. But
Oh,
I would
dropping
like to-
secrets.
I would like to not divulge that.
All right, man. That's cool.
Oh no, the first time I saw that particular effect, do you remember, what was it, the Pantera video for I'm Broken?
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago.
Right on.
Remember, it was,
Yeah.
it was like a strobe effect. And I'm like, how the hell did they do that? That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of sort of found the secret.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty neat, man. Jarrid, about this song, man, do you have anything to say about this song? Like, what's this song about? Like, why is it called Numb?
I mean, it's fictional. It's kind of a breakup song, I guess.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, like the quarantine, I wrote this during I have I've been like writing shit and fucking recording it and putting it out right away. Really, it's just sort of like a life goal while we're locked up to give me a reason to get up in the morning.
Right. Hey, man, nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, but for whatever reason, with like being locked up and like caged in the house, like a couple of them have had like these fictional breakup themes, but it's really just like just being numb, like what, just kind of, numb. I mean, there's no synonym for that, it's just like, kind of the feeling, just, unfazed, like just nothing will phase it, so, so anyway, it's like, so while the content itself or the story itself is kind of fictional, the feeling,
Right.
is associated with this like home imprisonment that we're all going through,
Yeah. No, that's cool,
that
man.
Makes any sense at all. So
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a question I had for Jarrid.
Go for it.
How do I put it? The lyrics. I mean, I've been working with you for a long time, so I know your lyrics inside and out, when I do your lyric videos. Now, you're right. They're stories. They're fictional stories. They're not stuff that you've gone through personally, but I feel like when I've done that, when I've written lyrics, people have a hard time like believing that, no, this is just a story. This is, a fiction. I didn't necessarily have to go through it,
Right.
But do you ever get people coming up to you asking you like, oh, did you actually like go through that breakup or anything?
Oh yeah, and I do write a lot of true songs too, and so that they're kind of peppered in. But yeah, on tour, I'll have people come up and like, this song really speaks to me, and they'll go into what it's about and whatnot. And sometimes like they just completely miss the mark, like on what the song's about. But it's still like flattering as fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's cool that it means whatever it means to them. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, even when they're fictional, though, it's still kind of coming from somewhere. So the story itself relates to. It's, I'm kind of an emotional little bitch, and so
An emotional mess.
Story, like, so even if the story is fictional, it's typically going to relate to some sort of like, this one is actually a really good example of that. Like, it really relates to just that feeling of, I'm just like. Now that everything's kind of opening up, but I wrote this like just in the depths of like, you were not allowed to go outside. You know what I mean? It was just like, and I had like,
but that's what makes an awesome storyteller, an awesome author, an awesome, like a writer. I mean, to put yourself in that feeling, that mood, and write out something that seems so honest and real, And that's just awesome storytelling.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that more than because sometimes I feel like my lyrics are good, and other times I feel like they're just shit. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, that's.
I'm bluffing, Hector. I'm bluffing.
I think that's just the thing, man. Is it's like, you can write a song that also just kind of starts from a real premise, and then you just kind of. You might alter stuff here and there just because of, it's like when you try to tell a story, you kind of, what is it? What's the word where you over-exaggerate a bit to make it a little more interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that. But it still definitely comes from somewhere, regardless.
Well, it's always, it's hard to describe. It's a feeling. Usually it's a feeling that I'm trying to portray,
Right on. Right on.
If that makes any fucking sense at all. So it typically comes from a feeling that I'm trying to portray.
No, 100%, man. That makes absolute sense.
Absolute sense. And the fact that you get that feeling across with the music and the lyrics with such a perfect combination, man, success. You did it. You know?
Right.
And then that fucking rockin' video too. I mean, that icing on the cake, man.
Yeah.
Cake.
I was talking to Jarrid. I was
Yeah.
chatting with Jarrid the other day when he first sent me over the song. You know, I had a couple beers, so I was in that like
Zone?
perfect 3 beers in zone where I could just sit back, relax, and enjoy the music. And to me, I put more focus on the music. I've never put. That's the first thing, the music itself, how it makes me feel. Lyrics come second to me.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that last chorus riff, just like. It's just,
Yeah, it is. It is an interesting choice of like chord progression there, like that. I don't know if it's coming across very well on the stream because I just kind of have it in the background. It's coming through pretty well in my headphones though. But yeah, just that chord progression you have for that kind of chorus is interesting, man. It feels like it's gonna go in a direction you think it's going, but then it doesn't. But then it still does. It's hard to explain. Like it completes that like happy melancholic, if that's the right way to describe it, chord that it's kind of like it's breaking it up in slow motion. It's a really weird way to explain it, I guess. But yeah, let's go ahead and Jarrid, how you feeling about busting out a song real quick, my man?
Pretty good.
Yeah. What jam do you want to do first?
I don't know. I put zero thought into what I was gonna fucking. Well, I've got songs I was gonna do, but
yeah. Do your thing, man. Tune up.
Tell you what, I'm gonna do. Hector just finished another video. There's actually a song coming out in between this one that we're doing, and the one that he just finished a video for. But anyway, I'm gonna do this one. He just finished this video, and it's fucking sweet, but the song's not coming out till like July, so.
Right. That was perfect timing. So yeah, for everybody on the stream, give me a quick sec, Jarrid. I'm just gonna set you up. The audio might be, it's not gonna be the greatest, but it is gonna sound pretty good. You'll get the idea. Yeah, doing this whole internet thing is a little awkward. If it were a normal time, dude, I'd have you here in the fucking, I was gonna say in the studio, but here at my place doing the thing. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and give Jarrid the honors of going full screen here for him. And Hector and I will be in the background. I'm going to go ahead and mute us so that it doesn't affect the audio at all. And when you're done, we'll switch back, man. So let's go ahead and merge you on down. And give me a sec to mute real quick. And the mic is yours, my man.
Cool. This is called I Don't Want to Die Young. It's coming out about a month. I don't want to die young. Doesn't mean it won't happen. Like maybe on the freeway when I'm driving a little too fast. And we all know our time is coming. Well, I should maybe do my part to push it off as long as I can. Till I got somewhere I've gotta be. Till then I'm gonna live each day as though it were my last. Hold on to these moments as they pass. Don't wanna die young, but it's probably gonna happen. From the drugs I take with all my stupid friends. And we all know our day is
till I see my friends again. Till then, I'm gonna live each day as though it were my last. Hold on to these moments as they pass. Slow down, take the time to take it all in. Hold on to all these moments as they pass. Maybe take the long way and slow down. Tell my friends I've gotta cut it out. Till then, I'm gonna live each day as though it were my last. Hold on to these moments as they pass. Slow down, take the time to take it all in. Hold on to all these moments as they pass.
Solid, my man. Solid. I wish I should have had a sound thing to do the clapping stuff.
The live studio audience.
Yeah. That'd be cool, man. Kind of like back in the day when you would do shows or not shows, but when you would perform like on KLAQ, and they had like a fake crowd in the background just clapping stuff. It was pretty neat. Yeah. That's solid, man. So you said that's a new song you've been working on?
Yeah, it's recorded, and like I said, Hector's already made a video for it. Another lyric video.
Oh, nice.
It's fucking corny. Yeah, it's fucking badass. I'm like super excited about it. It's like,
right.
You know, it's a shame we can't show it to you guys yet.
Well, is it?
But
is the song like? Is it just kind? Because it sounds like it would be like an acoustic song like that, but obviously it's just because that's how you're performing it. But it's got a like, especially the way the stream sounded right now, dude. It had a very indie vibe to it, just because it was kind of like doing a little bit of that like sound compression to it, you know, and it sounded neat. But like, I'm wondering, is it a full band recording of that jam?
You know, it's pretty fucking acoustic,
Okay.
and then I added some percussion and stuff to it. And there's like a vocal harmony, you know, whatever. But it's pretty similar to that. But I've been working with this guy in California has been mixing my stuff recently. This guy, Alan Sanderson.
Yeah.
And he works on like a lot of really big 90s albums. He actually like worked on some Counting Crows, some Fiona Apple, and
Nice.
shit, you know, some really cool kind of indie but major shit, you know. But he put this really cool like effect on the acoustic. So it anyway, it's real vibey. It came out really fucking cool, and I hope people will check it out.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to see what is it, another lyric video with like
It's another lyric video. It's like it's kind of got a story going on, I would say. I don't know, what would you say, Hector? There's kind of a story going on in the lyric video.
That's what's cool. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much you want to spoil of it or whatever, but I'm sure even just describing it, that's the thing. And you can describe something, man, and people are gonna. It's not gonna be what they think it's gonna look like, you know. No matter how much you try to describe it shot by shot.
Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
bunch of,
There's a
you know,
story to it.
What was that, Jarrid?
It's some stuffed animals that break out of the house and have a fucking party.
Dude, I could see that. I could totally see that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Good. Yes.
Okay. Oh, is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Then.
you can only imagine that's only got to make people want to watch it. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's fucking was it like the garbage pail? Do you remember that, dude? I don't mean to go off on a super tangent. Hector was about to say something, but
of course. No. Oh, what were you about to say about the garbage pail kids?
Oh, just how creepy they were and weird and like or the letter people, like what the hell, dude? What were people smoking back then? Like letter people was a kid's show, and it's the creepiest fucking thing. Holy crap. Anyway, Hector, go ahead.
Interestingly enough,
Yeah.
I showed my old Garbage Pail Kid collection to my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and even they were shocked. Because
Really?
you know how the culture is now? Like,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
goes. Anything goes.
Yeah.
But they're like, dang, that's gross. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought it was completely normal back then.
You should show them the movie, man. They'd probably flip. Because that...
Well, one thing about garbage compared, so like anything goes today, but back then, Garbage Pail Kids are pretty fucking politically incorrect. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
100%. 100%.
The whole the whole jest of it would not fly today ever in any circumstance, you know. And so
Yeah.
I could see how that would be just like traumatizing to your children, you know, shit that we used to
Yeah.
do in third grade, you know.
Right on. Right on.
Oh, for your question earlier about
Yeah.
like if I got shots particularly for that song, yes, I did. I had a couple of shots that you see in that Numb video already, but
I noticed there's a nice shot of Asking Enemy HQ, man. Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a
exactly.
shot in there.
Every time I drive by, I'm like, look, there's,
I know, right?
There's, I just look to see if you're out there by any chance.
Dude, I was cleaning the windows the other day, and I was wondering if anyone would drive by, and I'm like, with a little squeegee cleaning them.
That'd be
Anyway,
awesome.
go ahead, dude. Yeah.
I would have honked.
Yeah.
I see a lot of lyric videos. They've been out for a while, and I take lyric videos as a different medium for, I don't want to say filler because that's not the right word, but like content. You still want that visual appeal for a song, you know, and provide the lyrics. It's a whole other medium. That's how I see it. But the lyric videos that I've been seeing, a lot of them are maybe stock footage. It looks like stock footage and just graphics and
I see.
and
Yeah.
stuff that you create that, you know, that's not personal.
Right on.
I try for my lyric videos to shoot something specifically for that. You know, this is all my stuff, not any stock footage and stuff. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I shoot it for this particular song. For this one, just images, and that's what's hard sometimes to capture unique images, especially in El Paso.
Right.
There's some, I don't want to say limited, but you don't want to do like everyone's done the plaza or everyone's done like specific shots of downtown and that scenery is everywhere. I want to make it unique. So I shot specifically for this particular video for Numb. Same with that video we were just talking about of the song Jarrid just performed. I shot that, and it's Jarrid stuff. You're not going to find that anywhere else, you know? So I try. I could just take graphics and animations and just regular stock footage and make a lyric video out of it, but I'd like to make it a little bit more personal.
Right.
Especially in this circumstance where Jarrid and I are nowhere near each other.
Right.
You know, so I can't shoot Jarrid. So, you know, I'll make something.
I don't think you want to
We've
shoot
been doing
Jarrid.
these lyric videos. But I have, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Fucking
I get to run over him with cars.
I know
and
it's
stuff.
Texas, man, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of that, dude, like we can actually let's play another one of your videos, Hector. So Hector sent me a lot of videos here that I'll leave it up to you, man. Like kind of which one you want to jump in here. In the background, we've got one going called "Come Smile with Me."
Yeah,
the dudes look familiar. What band is this?
that's Sleep Spent.
Sleep Spent.
Yeah, it looks. I think Sleep Spent is a whole other incarnation now from when this was shot. It's no longer this full band, and it's just two of the guys now.
Well, also, I thought I remember you filming a video for Jarrid not too long ago, or you know, with my time in my head, it's probably like 20 years. But there's a video where I thought you had kind of like a band with you, Jarrid. Like,
Oh yeah, that was the first one we did.
yeah. Okay, then that's probably what it was.
That song I wrote for you.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah. Just because I noticed like a couple of these videos that Hector sent over, there are a lot of like band shots, right? Like obviously like last week how we had the Dreamcatcher. This one here is what is this, glitter taco?
Yeah.
Glitter tacos. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead, Hector. So which one of the ones that you sent do you want to go through? We can put it in and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Well, you got this one up here.
You want to just play this?
Yeah.
The glitter tacos.
Sure. Then let me go ahead and restart it, and we will go full screen with this.
You could start it from here and go full screen.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because it hasn't actually started yet, huh?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put the volume up and fade out. We'll be right back, folks. I wasn't expecting that end that quickly.
Oh yeah, it's quick. Neither did Jarrid.
Yeah. Neither did Jarrid. Yeah, well, that's good, man. Because at the same time, like while he's on break, real quick, you could talk a little about that video. Let me put that down a little. Yeah. So, yeah, these videos that you're doing, I'll go ahead and put this down here at the bottom because this is pretty cool. There we go. Yeah, like your ability, like I said last week, man, to capture some really good camera angles. Most people don't realize. Oh, Jarrod's back. Most people don't realize how kind of hard that really is. You know what I mean? Especially you getting that low and still being able to capture like the whole image. Oh, real quick, Hector, just because I saw this in the chat. Jake Diaz says, "Yeah, thanks Hex for the support, for supporting El Paso the way you do, man." So there you go.
My pleasure. Come on, this is our city. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, oddly enough, what you're showing now was my very first video ever.
Oh wow. Okay.
This is all GoPro. I didn't know what the hell really. Like, this is when I barely first started. I had like, you know what? I kind of want to play around with video.
Right.
And I bought myself a GoPro. And this is the very first thing I did. And all it is like I set up the GoPro in different spots in the room and told the guys, play the song. Then
just play it.
Then they played it. And then I went inside and moved the GoPro again, went out again, and played again. And I think we played like 10 times for 10 different angles.
Yeah,
and
of course.
This is the most simple thing ever, you know?
Yeah.
It's just them playing in the same room and whatever. And I thought it came out a lot better than I expected. And it was fun, yeah.
No, yeah, totally, man. So the crazy thing is, it reminds me a lot of like how the El Paso music scene was back when like, you know, I was playing in devices and lipstick and stuff. It's just the videos have gotten better, you know.
Well, the equipment, I mean,
100%.
Quality stuff is now way cheap.
Yeah, like you can do a lot of cool shit nowadays with that kind of stuff.
For this, I think I took some inspiration or had an idea. Remember that old MXPX video? where the camera was mounted on the singer's like microphone. I don't know if you remember. For
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds
it's just
familiar.
that just put a very wide angle camera like in different spots of the room and just splice all the footage together, and there
Right.
you go. The glitter tacos video.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it depends on the ugly side of the business. Budget.
Oh. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
this here is what's called the Quickie.
Okay.
For that's just the simplest video you could possibly do. You want to bust out a video for pretty cheap? I offer the package called the Quickie. For $250, I show up and just film you guys.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
That's it. I don't bring any light setups. There's no special effects. It's just some badass angles, and I play with the color. And this is what happens when you get the Quickie. And they turn out pretty fucking good, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Like, yeah, this still looks fantastic. Like, it's the quality of camera, the color that, like I said, that you do with it and everything. Marky Gunn in the chat says, "Hi, who's the quiet chap on the right?" Marky, you jumped in a little too late. That's obviously our boy Jarrid.
Obviously.
Yeah. However, though, you came probably at the right time because I was going to ask Jarrid to go ahead and play another jam.
All right.
While we go start looking at these other videos. Yeah, so for those folks who just jumped in, obviously I've got my boy Hector G on the left over here with his holding his beer up. From Subharmonic City Productions. If you guys are local to El Paso and you want to make a video for your band, feel free to hit him up. Links are obviously scrolling up there at the top. And my boy Jarrid from the March Divide is here serenading us because he's the guy at the party with the guitar.
Damn
So,
right.
yeah. Jarrid, give me a sec, man. Let me go ahead and set you up once again, my man. And I will give you the cue to go. And yeah, and then again, just intro the song, do what you need to, my man. So let's
Right on.
do this.
All right, gangsters. This song's called "I Don't Care." It's the first song on my last album, which is Anticipation Pops, and you can. I'm out of CDs, but you can get the vinyl on Bandcamp or Amazon. Really, any fucking place you want to get it. My distro still has CDs too, but anyway, buy a record from me because I'm stuck at home and not on tour. Please. Hope you dig it. I don't care anything about you and me anymore. Over it'll do my thing. I don't care if I ever impress you anymore. Over it'll go my way. 'Cause tonight I'll sleep fine. The choices are all mine. At night I sleep fine. These choices I'm over it'll do my thing. I don't care if I never ever move you with words anymore. Over it'll say what I say. I don't care anything about how I view anymore. Over it'll go my way. 'Cause tonight I'll sleep fine. The choices are all mine. At night I sleep fine. These choices I'm over it'll do my thing. Tonight I sleep fine. Choices are all mine. At night I sleep fine. All night, every night. Tonight I sleep fine. Choices are all mine. At night I sleep fine. These choices are over it. Do my thing.
Jarrid, my man, dude. I'm telling you, dude, you write some good fucking jams.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, sorry. It's a little quiet when you don't have the audience chatter. Oh,
yeah.
shit. There's Hector with the...
Yours.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Check it out. This is like a really pretty pressing. It's like a
Jeez,
purple
man.
swirl. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's nice.
This is a nice one. Thanks, Jarrid.
Actually, you don't know what you're gonna get. They're all different, but
That's awesome.
A lot of them look like Hector's. So you try. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I was actually cleaning up my office the other day, and I still have like the anticipation pops that I ordered not too long ago. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was still wrapped. Because like I don't have I buy vinyls from you guys just because they're fucking cool. But yeah, I don't have a player, man. I've been wanting to get one for a while because yeah, I still have like my Jealous Sound ones and stuff. But I would love to hear what the tracks sound like on record because I know that always.
They fit well in the thing there. Hector's just about 4 beers in, so I just want to make sure everybody knows.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, do you remember when the Jealous Sound played here? Did you go?
Oh man, that's some
Tricky
beef that
Falls?
Jarrid has with me. Yeah, yeah. Because I got to open for him
really?
like 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
My
Yeah.
hero right
At the Regal Beagle ones?
Oh yeah, dude. Fucking A. Yeah. Again, thanks to Barry.
Oh,
Yeah, he
shit.
had me open for him a long time ago, and then I opened for him as Devices and Shift. As a matter of fact, you guys talk amongst yourselves really quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something. I need to ask Jarrid if he knows what this is. So hold on.
Okay.
Do your thing. I'll be right
right.
back.
Oh, man.
He's going.
No.
He's gonna
Hey,
come
you're the
back with some
co-host.
Jealous Sound memorabilia. Yeah, gee, co-host. I feel pretty put on the spot here. I don't know. Wish
I know,
we
that's
talked
very
about, man.
rude.
Yeah.
How? Hey,
Man. That's it.
did you get any requests? Oh shit, where was it? Damn it! I just had that request that I wanted to ask for. No, never mind.
All right, Jarrid, check this out, man. Let's see if you recognize this. Do you know what that is? It's a deep fucking cut.
It looks familiar. Yeah.
So
tell me what it is.
it's the I don't know if it's called a tackle box or whatever. I use it for just my stuff, right, for the music stuff. But Blair gave this to me that day we played the show. Yeah, and it's on their little hoodie. It's like a little logo that they use for like their hoodies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it like super deep cut, man. But I was just like, yeah, check it out. Like, holy shit. The only thing I forgot to tell him to do because I was all super nervous that day was get all of them to sign it. Because that was when Adam was still their drummer. Like, it was kind of like the original dudes from like the original.
Yeah.
What show was that?
Regal Beagle.
Man.
Yeah, they still
You know
had
what?
Pedro. Yeah.
I think there were more people at the Regal Beagle show than there was when they played at Tricky Falls. Oh.
Oh yeah. Well, so they did Regal Beagle like twice. Then they did E9 when it was still kind of, or not E9, 101. And then they came back again. Yeah, and they did Tricky Falls and. Yeah, they had already changed up a lot by then, man. I think that was like very, very pre-Racket Club. But yeah, it was neat. Anyway, just wanted to jump on that there. Jarrid, since we did have some people drop in the chat that I know we're looking forward to hearing you play some jams, would you mind doing another jam right away?
Yeah, I'll do one.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and do another little discussion with Hector about the videos. And once again, my man, let me go ahead and fade you out and do your thing. Introduce the jam. Do what you need to.
All right. This is a brand fucking new song, but it is coming out on June 19th, and I'm working with Hector on a video for it, or about to start working on a video with Hector on it for it. Anyway, the reason I keep saying it's new is because I might fuck this one up, but it's called Chris Takes Her Time. But I like it. Hope you dig it. Hope I play it all right. Here we go.
Chris takes her time to brush her hair behind her ear. She says, I changed my mind, I'm not staying here. We spend all our time fighting. I don't wanna waste my time always hiding from you. Our time is come and gone. These things happen, they happen. And sure we had some fun. These things happen, they happen all the time. Chris takes her time to pack her bag. Before leaving, she says, don't think I'm mad, I feel terrible. I've spent my whole life trying to be happy. I don't wanna waste my life, 'cause you don't make me happy. Our time is come and gone. These things happen, they happen. And sure we had some fun. These things happen, they happen all the time. Then she runs to someone else, then 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 someone else. She says, our time is come and gone. These things happen, they happen. And sure we had some fun. These things happen, they happen all the time.
Oh yeah, my man. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Monte in the chat says, I can listen to this all day. That's awesome.
Oh, please do. Please
Hell
do.
yeah, man. I know. Yeah, so that's pretty rad, man. So not only are you working on that video that we were talking about earlier, because you did play that new song before, you still have another video for this song now that's coming out later.
Yeah, this is
That's awesome.
During quarantine, this was another one I just did.
No, that was solid, man. Yeah.
This guy's a machine.
I know.
Man, just pumping out the jams.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
So
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the thing, man. Is it keeps you focused. It gives you something to do, and it it's focusing all that energy that could have been focused negatively. You're channeling it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
well,
what musicians do, man. It's like
I
you
like
got all
right.
this pent up. Like I'm more like fucking rage and like let's go, and you're just kind of like I'm just here, man. I'm writing a jam. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's weird.
I'm revved up too, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you
I want
gotta
to be revved up.
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, you're pretty revved, man.
What? Yeah. You've got like how I said, like the song I asked you, the I Told You So jam, like that has just a very energetic kind of poppy, like these are very mellow kind of like songs, but they still have a poppiness to them, which is really rad. It's one of the things I dig.
I like pop. I'm like a connoisseur of the, I fucking love hooks in songs. So that's
man.
I try to strive for that. I don't know if I necessarily achieve it, but I go for that.
Yeah, like just about every song I've heard on your tracks, man, have some, even if it's like the slightest little hook in them, like they've just got something to them, which is pretty rad. Which again, like I've told you a million times, is one of the reasons why I respect your songwriting.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. So Hector, this video that's going on in the background, I saw this when you sent these over. This is an interesting one. Let's talk about this one for a bit. Let me merge this down here.
All right.
There we go. Yeah. So let me go ahead and restart this. Because was this filmed here in El Paso? Because it seems like there are parts that do not look like the town. Let me go ahead and restart it. Yeah. There you are, all goofball, man. That's funny.
Hey, Hector.
Exactly. This was a crazy one. This was a logistical, I wouldn't say nightmare, but a logistical, like, wow, lining everything up was well, no, everything like fell in line pretty cool, right?
Put the volume up here a little. Sorry, guys, go ahead.
How did we start in San Antonio?
Yeah. At your in Blanco.
So this right now is San Antonio.
Right
yeah.
outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jarrid.
It's Blanco. It's kind of a suburb of San Antonio.
Okay.
That's my mom's donkey.
No way.
Yeah.
This is El Paso.
So I guess, yeah, that's right outside my house, and that's
Okay.
my car that I ran over Jarrid with.
Awesome.
It was crazy. I guess that was my mom lives in Blanco, which is about half an hour, 40 minutes outside of San Antonio, and it's beautiful. I mean, look at that green. You don't get that in here in El Paso.
Yeah.
And I guess I was talking to Jarrid, and I told him, hey, I'm heading up for just to visit my mom, and we hooked up over there because you're no longer there, right, Jarrid?
No, yeah. I live in Fort Worth now.
Yeah.
Like just
But
here, though.
But we met up at my mom's. These are my mom's horses and stuff, and she has like a little ranch, I guess, a few acres out there with heavily forested, and that's the thing, Jarrid. Like, damn, I wish we had way more time to so we could take our time instead of rushing them.
Yeah,
These don't look rushed though, man. Like I know like there's always like behind the scenes stuff that people don't see in like the final product, but if you say this is rushed, like, yeah, man.
Like, yeah,
That's crazy.
It was
What we, like,
I don't know, like I just feel like so rushed, and I don't do well with that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that I'm unhappy with the turnout, but damn, I know we could have done better if we had more time. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
He was visiting his parents, and I went up, shot all that shit in Blanco in like 2 hours or something, probably, maybe 3 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was on tour playing a house show at Nature House, which is right
there.
And so on fucking tour, we filmed the rest that day. Like I just popped into town at whatever time, and we probably spent all in, I don't know, what would you say, Hector, like 5 hours filming all this shit,
Yeah, maybe.
That,
Wow.
Yeah,
it was
5 hours. I mean, he
cool.
came into town, and we're like, okay, we talked, of course, before, like, just shooting ideas back and forth, but like through Messenger or even phone call, I feel you can't get your points across exactly. So
Of
again,
course.
I'm not unhappy with how it came out. I just wish we had more time.
Right.
The initially my initial idea on the song is I wanted to like do a Rocky mock.
Okay.
Where like
a montage?
yeah, like but people start following me like in Rocky,
Yeah.
And so the whole thing running, and then I show up at the show and all those people are like the people at the show. But
Yeah.
we couldn't get enough fucking people because neither Hector or I have any friends. So,
Yeah. Well, especially out of town, right? Like, are you talking? Because you would have had
No,
to
it was
do
gonna
it through
be-
all of these. Okay.
it was gonna be in
So
El Paso when I was
that's
on tour.
the
We just couldn't get it together.
Okay.
The story.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, and
story
that's
of
the
song,
interesting things, like
you
stuff.
can't, like the video is that. So
Hold on, Hector. Jarrid, hold on.
Go ahead.
You
All right.
cut
I'll
out
shut
there
the
for a
mic
bit. What were you saying, Jarrid?
me.
Yeah. You cut out for a second there. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well,
Yeah.
just the story of the video. There's just the whole storyline. We couldn't do what we wanted to do, but just Hector and I going back and forth, we decided it's like I'm going to break down and go through all this shit to get to my rock show.
Right.
That's my map to the rock show. So
Okay.
anyway,
No, that's
cheesy as
awesome.
shit, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. Like you can plan and plan and plan and have everything, like every second of the video planned out.
Mm-hmm.
But if something goes wrong, you got to pretty much do it on the spot.
Yeah, you got to improvise, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I've learned a lot of lessons off of this one particularly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every video I do, I learn a lot of lessons in preparation for the next because, well, I mean, 3 years doing this thing, this has been nothing but a learning experience. Every single video I do, I learn a ton of stuff, you know.
No, it should be.
But
man,
this is a perfect one where shit does not go exactly as you imagined it, and you have to improvise in a way, you know.
Yeah.
But this is probably one of my favorites because it's just silly. We got to just really play around with it, and it's just a ridiculous storyline, and I like it.
Well, it's really neat that like you kept the like how you're saying that it was shot so scattered, and you still were able to match it all together. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, like that's awesome.
I never. Oh, do you know how maddening that is? Like, okay, you picture a storyline in your head, but everything is shot at separate times and disconnected.
Oh yeah.
And the subjects in the video usually have no idea what the hell's going on, and I'm like, just trust me, it'll line up at the end.
Right. So. This is just like a personal curiosity, but like when you were filming these parts, right, like where Jarrod's singing along to the song, did you have like a boombox or like, I'm fucking dating myself there, right, but like a radio playing the song so that he could sing along to it while you're chasing him or whatever?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was like on my phone in my pocket, I think, or something.
Awesome.
If I remember right. It was just like not ideal. That was another thing that didn't work. It just like wasn't ideal. I think I had this Bose that I was trying to bring and it wasn't working or something. I don't remember, but
yeah. Well, because see, what would have worked out too, I see, is that you could have still put in headphones and heard it clearly, and it still would have fit the video. And you know, people obviously wouldn't know that that's what you were listening to. But
I didn't even think.
Yeah, that's a nice way to cover that up too.
Should have ran with it.
But then that makes it.
Yeah.
That makes it super hard for me because when I'm actually editing it, like I have the song track at the bottom, and then I have to really examine his lip movements because I need reference audio.
Yeah,
that
100%.
helps a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fucking cool, man. I like that.
Fucking horses.
Yeah. All right, Hector, do you want to talk about any other particular video here before we go into another jam from my man?
I don't remember what I said.
So you've got a couple. Let me see. I can just go. There's New Me, Orthodoxy, Phobia the Prophet, the preview for Jehovah's, Rain video.
Orthodoxy was hell.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do this.
Not hell, but like the hardest project yet.
Turn this down a little. Like I said, it's coming across pretty loud in my headphones, but I don't know what you guys are hearing on your end, so I just want to make sure. If you guys want to hear a little more audio, just let me know in the chat. Yeah, I also don't want to have you guys yell over the videos if you don't need to. So yeah, man, what's going on with this here? Cool.
This is another example of where we asked everybody, hey, come out, we're going to need a lot of extras, especially for this scene. Very few responded.
Oh, you're actually throwing in effects and stuff in this video too.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I went all out on production. This is my first attempt at a full-on concept video.
Yeah.
With no band, it's just a storyline. And these guys, like Alan, the singer for this band, he's ridiculous.
Okay.
And he takes nothing serious. So it's a James Bond spoof. That's the guitar player in the bikini.
Okay.
So yeah, all these little inside jokes are thrown in here, and this is my first attempt at like a storyline, a cinematic kind of thing. It took 2 days, 2 like 12 or 13-hour days to film everything across like 7 or 8 different locations, and holy crap. Whew, it was hell. Because it's the first time I had any sort of
Shit.
production this kind of big. This size, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I like it. I'm proud of it. And it's just, holy crap.
How did you? Where was that? Where was that house? Because did you just film some random person's house on a beach or something? That was huge.
Oh, that was stock footage, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I bought some stock footage. I'm like, okay, your house looks nothing like what James Bond would be living in.
Okay.
So, it's just a
Nice.
quick little one. And the rest of this is the singer's house.
Yeah.
This was filmed in total daylight. I tried to do that nighttime effect with darker colors, but
I think you pulled it off. Yeah. Well, evening.
Evening, yeah, there you go. But if you look at the uncolored footage, it's so daylight. There's sun shining through that window and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do fight scenes or choreograph this kind of stuff, so just trying to tell
Hey,
everybody
man.
what to do.
Yeah. Well, the neat thing is you could probably be yelling at people all these things and no one's hearing it, right? Because you're overdubbing it with the music anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
So I'm sure, I'm sure the raw video of these is probably just a bunch of sound and yelling and yeah. But see, this is what I'm talking about with what you're doing, man. Is like people I don't know if they appreciate or if they even notice the little things that you do there, where you slow down the video for just like a subtle effect. Like you didn't really need to do that, but it adds so much to it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, all these little tiny intricate details.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I never took film class, or I'm not a huge movie buff, but I know what I like in movies.
100%.
So there's a fine line between blatantly ripping off a style and just I guess like music. You know, you take inspiration, you take styles, you take ideas and stuff, and you know what you like. Try to make it look like what you like. That's it. I mean,
right.
And yeah, this one drove me nuts. It was a lot of work, but I love that I pulled it off without ever doing anything like this before. This was at the Carl's Jr. The Carl's Jr. at Horizon.
How'd you get in, or it's just shut down? Did you guys sneak in or something?
No. Alan, the guy in black here, the main protagonist,
Uh-huh.
that guy shooting, he was a regional manager for Carl's Jr., and so he had access to this shut down Carl's Jr.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Does it look like a Carl's Jr.?
Not at all, man. I never would have thought that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All the registers were out and all that stuff. Yeah, we angles. It's all angles, baby.
Yeah. Holy crap, man.
But yeah, everybody was in a super bad mood by the end of our shooting days. Everybody had enough. Nobody wanted to do anything with each other, and yeah, very, very touching.
Right.
And that's where like actors, like real legit actors, holy crap, they spend 13, 14, 15 hour on set a day and stuff like. So that's where I understand, like, they get paid the big bucks because they put up with a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, that's kind of like when you're doing stuff like that, like when you're an extra or whatever. It's always one of those like hurry up and wait moments, you know? Like you show up and you're spending a lot of time just kind of like waiting for someone to call you to be part of whatever the whole scene is here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to discount this dude who's on right now, but I had there are still some other videos that we kind of threw in the background last episode, but obviously since both of you and Jarrid are here, and we're focusing on some stuff that Jarrid's doing, I did want to throw in. Let's see, what was it? Yeah, this one. Yeah, what is it? What's this one called, Jarrid? Secrets Corrected? Is that the name of the jam?
Just Secrets, yeah.
Oh, I see. Corrected is you probably corrected something in the video. That's it. Yeah.
On the title. The file
Secrets. Yeah, so I like this one because it had that like filtered effect, like it was filmed all vintage style. Obviously, like I was gonna put it might have sounded wrong, but like in a simplistic way, right? but it looks neat. It just fits the video.
I love that fucking style, and it that melancholy feel, that relaxed, subdued, sad mood.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes across in the visuals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this one, Jarrid? Yeah.
This song, it's a trip because when I recorded it, it was like this was on a 3-song thing I did, like this whole series. I won't get into the weeds on fucking that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like wrote it. It was gonna be a 2-song release, and I like wrote this song. I was like, fuck it, I'll record it real quick. And this is like my biggest fucking song ever. It just hit 200,000 streams on Spotify the other day, and
wow,
this video 70,000, probably 80,000 streams now. I've gotten to where I don't even fucking check anymore. But yeah, this video gets like, and it just came out like, it's not even that old. It came out in December. I guess it's getting old.
Yeah.
But it gets like 700 to 1,000 streams. This video, people dig this fucking video. Thanks, Hector. Thanks, man. So.
Awesome. Yeah, let's actually fade in full screen for this, and we'll finish this off, and then we'll come around back with Jarrid playing a jam. All right. This is a good jam. This is a good jam. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and have our boy here in the March Divide give us another jam. You know the rigmarole by now, Jarrid. Let me go ahead and make you full screen, my man. And do your thing.
All right, this one's for JC. He requested it. It's a deep cut, as he likes to say. So I told you so. This is more of a rockin' song, but I'm gonna play the acoustic version. You can fucking figure that out. All right, here we go.
Well, I'll bet it all. I'll face the risk. I'll take my chances. Won't resist. I told you so. I told you so. I'm not giving up or giving in. I'm pushing forward. I'm all in. I told you so. I told you so. When your mind wanders off, thinking of when you and I could be, hope you're reminded at your way. Overcome the obstacles you have put right before me. Like another promise you won't keep. Through all this shit you can't defend, I'm ever closer to the end, and I told you so. I told you so. There's your cracks sinking in, and you overcome by what you did, and I told you so. I told you so. When your mind wanders off, thinking of when you and I could be, doesn't remind you that your way. Overcome the obstacles you have put right before me. Like another promise you won't keep. Won't keep. You're so wrong. You're so
Oh yeah, sucker.
It's a little punk rock for you.
It's a little deep cut is what that is. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that is one solid fucking jam.
Hey, I have a question. Do you remember any of your old band songs?
Like conversation
Like-
stuff?
Yeah.
Old.
Old or even, like, do you remember them?
Not particularly.
Like-
I know some conversation songs. I'll still kind of pop those out every now and then, but
Like Green.
typically not. Well, you know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
I was playing, so, you know, I do this shit for a living, so I'll do like beer gardens and shit like that. And there's this guy that lives in San Antonio, Jesse, that was like a big conversation, like into the conversation.
Awesome.
And he showed up at this like kind of beer garden show or whatever, you know, and I'm doing all my like acoustic sad bat. It was like Father's Day, everybody's kids are running around, and it like comes up, he's all play Green, motherfucker. You know?
Nice.
So I tried to, dude, I fucking tried to do it, and it was just like a complete and they never booked me again after that. So it's like,
Oh no way, dude!
yeah,
You
so I don't know if,
yeah.
yeah. I think I blew it that hard that I lost the biggest fucking place. So anyway,
Well, it's funny because I
So,
remember you
yeah.
played a show here in town. I think it was that same one that we
Oh.
went to after that, after episode 7 or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
I remember I
Fine.
think it was Adrian from fucking Naughty Little Monkeys, or at that time I guess he was from Deluda, right?
yeah.
And he was yelling Green the whole time too, because again, dude, fucking deep cut, man, because we're all cut from the same
That's
deep.
one, it's funny. That's the one. Back in the day, like I don't know. I guess I didn't really realize that was like the fan favorite, you know. But
Yeah.
people still ask that fucking song. That was no shit, like 18 goddamn years ago, and I still have people asking me to play that fucking song. Yeah, and you guys gave me. I probably had 12 shots and tried to play that song that night. It was not my finest moment. Not my
Yeah.
finest moment, but
It sure as hell wasn't me. I think it was these idiots. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, totally, man. Well, because I mean, that's the thing is for you guys that are watching. Again, you know, Jarrid has a long history and a long catalog of stuff going all the way back to like Level and like stuff that you can still find online. And like I said, if you can, go check it out because there's a lot of solid tracks from way back in the day, like Level all the way to The Conversation. Specifically, that one album in particular, dude, because you even redid a Level song, like the Gift of Silence thing, for that particular
Yeah.
album. What was that album called?
Yeah.
Was Last in Line?
Last in Line.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the story on that, and the whole reason we were even The Conversation. I mean, people know, some people don't know, but Level got like within a baby's breath of a major label deal. And we recorded, and it was Level, and so they took us out to LA with like big studio, big money and all that, and we recorded A Gift of Silence. Like that was the song that got all the major labels interested from
Wow.
that Level CD that we did on Shade Records. And we did all that touring, you know, so we had the resume and, you know, whatnot. And so we re-recorded that for that, and then we did Green, and we recorded this other song in the middle. And then that's what they used to shop us to the big labels. And everything kind of fell apart with it, very unfortunately. And so we changed the name, because that was Level. We changed the name to The Conversation just for a clean slate, you know. But it was basically kind of the same band, sort of, you know, a little bit of a different lineup, you know. So anyway, that's
Right.
kind of the story on that. But that's the reason The Gift of Silence was on that Level album, and then it was on the Conversation album, because we had like this $20,000 recording of it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
we're gonna use that, you know, we're not gonna fucking throw that in the trash bin. So anyway, that's the story on why we redid that. But yeah, we redid, and I actually, the Conversation stuff, we ended up signing to Dead Letter Records from Minnesota, which is still around, and good friends with those guys and whatnot still to this day. But you know, I've got a little record label that since I'm finally profitable making music of my own, I've decided to lose my ass with a record label. So
Right.
I've got a little record label, and anyways, getting to the fucking point. Sorry, there's an end to this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I went to Dead Letter and I asked to get those records back, the Conversation records, because they put out both of them. And he just, I didn't know if it was going to be like a negotiation or if I was going to have to like write him a check. And it wasn't like a big deal that he necessarily had them, but like I just put so much of my life into those fucking things, you know, that I wanted them, you know, and so when I got my distro deal with Burnside, I went to Jeremy at Dead Letter and was like, hey man, you know, I don't know what, you know, because I'd actually gone to him before about it, and it's not that he was necessarily opposed to it, but he wanted that. This is cool, and I guess this may not still be true, but Last in Line was a #1 selling album they had like ever had in the history of that label. And so when I initially went to him to try to get it, he was just kind of like, yeah, but you know, like, he just kind of like had it in his catalog. It wasn't like he wasn't a jerk about it, but he just sort of wanted to work something out, you know? But I circled back a couple years later, and they actually put out the first couple March Divide releases too. So, I mean, I'm very in touch with those dudes. But anyway, sorry, there is a fucking point. So when I circled back and I was like, hey man, you know, I just want to hit you up. I got this new distro deal. I'd really like to get those Conversation records in my catalog. And he was just like, yeah, you know what? You can, you know, here you go. You can have them. And he just fucking, and I mean, that was back in the day with like record deals and shit. Like he owned, those are his, like he owned them, you know, he like paid for, you know, the Last in Line. We finished recording that ourselves, and we went on the road, and then we signed a deal and they gave us money, like advance, like he bought it off of us. And then the second Conversation record, he paid for it, the whole shebang, you know, like back when record labels used to do that kind of thing. And it was just really fucking cool. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, those are out there. You can look them up. Sorry, I just rambled on for 45.
Oh no, man!
Minutes.
Like that's what I'm always interested in. Is,
you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I love talking about this kind of stuff, because, you know, there's always people out there that kind of want to do this type of thing on their own, and yeah, these type of stories are super interesting, man, and people dig those. Just kind of like some background information on all that stuff. And
the fact
I'm
that
sure
very little people know the intricacy, what really goes on, the business side of things is so much deeper than you can even like fathom when you barely start. Like promoting, if you're a promoter, you get an insight into the business, and it's hell. It's way harder than you think. And then actually dealing with record labels just like that. I mean, people own your music. Like you were prepared to like pretty much beg for your own music back, because a lot of people don't have that opportunity to own their own music again, huh?
Yeah, I was going to write a check. Like, yeah, I was literally going to write a check for my own fucking albums, you know? But but the other side of that, you can be a dick about it. Like, those are my records. But I mean, he did. He fucking paid for them, you know? I mean,
yeah.
So.
I think that's the thing that people don't realize, right? Is it's kind of like you made the deal back then to give him the ownership of these records. So yeah, you recorded them. Go ahead.
The right to the recording. He paid for the recording. You know?
Exactly.
So he owns it. It's his.
Yeah. So man, that's awesome. That's a good ending to the story. Where
and so if people want to check out those Conversation records, they're there. I was going to try to do a bunch of promotion behind them, and I still plan to. I just haven't done it yet. Like, this sounds crazy, and it's actually still a couple years away, but I mean, we are not far off from the 20th anniversary of Last in Line, you know.
Jeez.
So
Holy shit.
Yeah,
so I'm going to do
exactly.
something, you know, with Slow Start Records and that label that I run. We'll do something for Last in Line 20th anniversary. But I mean, even to this day, that's the best. I think I would have stuff now. I definitely have. I was pretty successful back then, but I have a bigger following now, I think, that I did back then.
Yeah.
But like, people don't buy records like they used to. Like, that will always be. That album sold like, you know, 10,000 copies or more. You know, I mean, of like physical CDs. You know, so.
Yeah, and for an indie band, that people don't realize, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot.
That one did pretty well. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man, is they're good songs too. So if you were to have just let them go, like, people are missing out on some good jams. You know what I mean? Like,
and for me, it just kind of goes back like I just can't even express the roller coaster of a life that I had back then, and just everything that I put into that. Like, we were gonna be on a major label. Like, we had big money on the table for the band, and like what happened with all that, and then signing this little indie label, and then I toured by myself and just like living in the fucking van. I was just like a drunk emotional wreck all the time,
Yeah.
So for me, it's just the emotional value of those two records. Like, so I don't lose sleep that not a lot of people are necessarily, and that people do still listen to them, but I don't lose a lot of sleep over that. It's just, for me, it's the sentimental value of having those back. It really goes a long way,
And is that one of those things that you would consider for like the like anniversary thing, is to like play some of those songs or get the band back together for it? Or is it just...
Yeah, well, we've had, I'm still really good friends with all those conversation guys, like really, really good friends. And we'll get drunk sometimes and talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I can see that.
And maybe for the 20th anniversary, we could pull it off. But, Davey and Jordan in El Paso, the real trick is me and Mike. I'm in Fort Worth now, and Mike lives in Austin, and he's like dude's got agoraphobia. You just can't get him out of his goddamn house,
Yeah.
So, but he played with me, in the beginning of the March Divide and stuff. So I, never say never, I guess would be the way to do it. But man, I'd fucking love to play a conversation show at the Regal Beagle, like if we could,
Yeah.
I don't know what the Regal Beagle is now, but anyway.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. I think
fucking...
Yeah, well, because we were talking about that last episode, the idea of like where is there to play nowadays, like Hector's been filming bands around town and stuff, so he probably has a good idea of all the different places. Like, yeah, I would have no
clue. Not as many as I remember. Slim pickings now.
Yeah, because like
remember all this.
Yeah, the whole thing with like Lowbrow wasn't that they closed it down, but then they opened it up back on Texas, and now all of a sudden it's open again. Like, or I guess before this whole thing, but yeah, like that was weird.
I think construction alone and the capital involved with building a whole new venue is beyond comprehensible for Yeah, we're all like, when's the new place going to open? Like, do you not realize the alcohol licenses alone and the fire codes and so much more that goes into it? It's the business side of things is just insane.
Yeah.
And I guess with the removal of backyard shows, like you guys were talking about in the last episode, like, man, backyard shows when I was here in El Paso from 95 to 96, every weekend there was a backyard show. Like, there's no way that could happen now. It gets instantly busted, I think.
Yeah.
The other thing about El Paso that's a trip, and when you live there your whole life like I did, you don't realize it now living in other places. But, man, El Paso venues, they, like, come and go. People, like, the Regal Beagle, let's talk about, we're fucking old as shit, if we can, it's going to be before a lot of people's time, but also back when I used to live there. But, the Bay Lounge, La Tuya, Wild Hairs, of course, was there for a long time. Regal Beagle, like, everything comes and goes. El Paso has a hard time having a staple. It's like something that sticks, like, and I don't know if it's because the people lose interest or whatnot. But, and when I lived there, I just thought that was the way that it was, but like in San Antonio and other places and, lived in LA for a while or whatnot, but like, it's just not like that in other places. Like San Antonio, I lived in San Antonio like the last 12 years, same fucking venue. The whole time I was there, nothing changed. It was the same fucking place to play the whole time.
That's really weird, man. Because I was gonna ask you about that. Like when you're on tour, when you're touring, basically. Like, are you going to all the same places, or do you notice that in different cities, right? Where it's like you're never kind of playing the same place twice.
That that varies.
Just a minute, real quick, gentlemen. I'm going to step away.
Okay.
I'm going to take a potty break and change into something more comfortable. I'll be right back.
All right, do your thing, man.
Not making us look bad. Fucker.
I know, right?
Yeah, so when you tour, it honestly, it varies by town. You know, I've got some cities where I do tend to play the same venue, and then I've got other places where it's like I kind of work with the same promoter every time. So it'll be a different venue, but it's through the same promoter. So anyway, that's very situational. I don't really know. And then I work with a lot of booking agents, and then I'm also very capable of booking myself too. So it also kind of depends on who I'm working with on the tours and those kind of things as well. So it really varies, but yeah, you know, I mean, you kind of get into like at the level that I'm at, and I'm sure this is true, bigger levels and whatnot.
Yeah. I know what you're doing.
In different towns and different cliques, you know, and that's kind of who handles your shit everywhere you go.
Right. Yeah, because I remember back in the day when if you tried to do like a tour and stuff, it always had to be like what was that website? Bookityourself.org?
Your own fucking life, man.
Yeah, book your own fucking life, man. What was it? BYOFL.org or something like that? Yeah. Like, is that still a thing or like are you just going out on the road and just creating these networking like you normally would, right? Like, and then you just
I mean, I do it enough that I've got a really strong network across most of the country, but there's a new one. It's not Book Your Own Fucking Life now. It's Indie on the Move is what it's called. And so I'll use Indie on the Move for towns that I don't necessarily have the kind of contacts strong enough to just be like, you know, hey fucker, give me a show, you know. And then, you know, if you really want to like deep dive into it, if it's not working out with Indie on the Move, you can go onto Yelp and just like
no way
Leipzig, Cincinnati, you know, shit like that, and find the venues and then just kind of research it that way. But but it's very similar to the old days, except it's Indie on the Move is what it's called. And I've got, thank God, I mean, it's actually not that cheap. It's not that expensive and it's totally worth it, but they have a deal now where you have to like pay to play, like have a subscription with them. But initially it was free, and if you had an account before they started doing that, they grandfathered you in. So
nice.
I've got an account.
And how has that worked out though? Like, is it worth it? Like, is that something that you would recommend people do, or
pay for the Indie on the Move?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're, I mean, it's only $10 a month. If you're serious, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, there's no,
like it's legit.
Yeah, it's very legit. It's very legit, and it's more so than Book Your Own Fucking Life. Not that Book Your Own Fucking Life wasn't legit, but it's 2020, so it's just a better you know, the skill set of whoever set it up is just, you know, very modern. There's reviews of the venues in there, so you can see like before you even reach out to them, you can read like, am I a good fit for this place? Just kind of read the reviews, and you know, or like these people don't write you back, that kind of shit, you know. So yeah, it's really worth it. Yeah, if anybody's out there looking to get on the road, I mean, that's where you want to start for sure.
Okay, that's rad, man. Yeah, because that's why like we've talked about this a couple times already about going back out on the road and stuff, and like if I ever decided to do something like that again, you'd be the first person I would ask for tips on that, because
oh yeah, man.
Yeah, like I can't think of anyone else who works as hard as you, tours as much as you, and continues to just do this, man. That's insane.
It's, you know, it's definitely a fucking job, and it's definitely 100%. Different at this age. I can't show up at a fucking, you know, 20-year-old's house for a house show and it'd be, you know what I mean? Like, the old creepy guy at the, you know, commercial. I say that, but you know, I put enough work in again, and I've built it back up where I do have a following in a lot of places. So it's not to say that I don't do those shows, but it's not like I'm the fucking creepy guy that, you know, I'm at least that guy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So it being on the road as much as you have, like, have you come across a show that has like just totally blown your mind, or like something that like you showed up and you didn't expect like it to be that cool, or like the venue being super weird or anything like that? Like, can you think of any?
Yeah, you know, that stuff doesn't happen as often as it used to. That used to happen a lot with the conversation, because we were on a record label, had a booking agent, had a manager, just the
Right.
whole.
Yeah, like they would put you on like
you know,
bigger than normal shows in a sense, right? Like showcases and
Yeah, well, and it was just more like we didn't have anything to do with a lot of the shows. We literally would get an itinerary and just show up, and so
that's awesome.
everything was completely, everything was completely unexpected.
Yeah.
These days, now when I've got primarily who I work with for my booking is a sort of an on again, off again booking agent. He's a friend of mine,
Yeah.
So there's never any unknown because we're friends. He's always like, oh yeah, this one's gonna be,
Right.
So anyway.
What about
Yes
the
and no.
bands? Right. So, like, I mean, that's kind of what I was getting at is the idea of, like, what about the bands that you've played with? Like, I don't know necessarily how to ask this question, but just the idea of, like, sometimes you'll play with a band you weren't expecting, and it's just like a band member from a band that whether it's like it didn't have to be a big band or something, but say it was like a random drummer from like the Jealous Sound or something, like, you know what I mean? Have you come across any of those type of situations?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like what that reminds me of. This was a long time ago, but Level one time we were on tour. We didn't know. We showed up at this place that we actually used to play a lot in Arkansas, and we were playing with a fucking Appleseed Cast. Like,
Holy crap!
We show up, we're playing with fucking Appleseed Cast. Like we had stuff like that happen. The Conversation played with the Strokes in L.A. one time. We had no goddamn idea. We didn't actually even know who they were yet. If that gives you an idea how long. But it was like, so just those kind of, showing up and doing those kind of shows. We played with Against Me in Florida once. Just really random shit. Like I said, like you just don't even know, until you get there.
Yeah, totally.
So,
yeah, I guess it's like you're saying, when you have a booking agent, they do all that stuff for you. I guess that, you get more of those surprises than not.
yeah,
Where if you're in control of all this stuff, then you're probably doing it the whole time. Yeah. Welcome back, Hector.
Thanks.
hey man, it was a good one.
I had to pee so bad. I'm back.
Yeah.
Look, can I show you guys something?
Go for it.
I got a new bottle opener. Can you see what it is?
Oh, wow. Yeah. What the hell?
Alien.
Hell yeah.
Here, let me
alien.
see. Yeah, let me see if I can make you full screen real quick.
Oh, well, if you want.
Yeah, I want to see that. Hold on. Yeah, this will work. Nice.
So I had to test out its efficiency. I had to test out its strength and durability, and I've tested it out maybe 10 or 11 times today. So if you'll excuse me.
Nice. That's rad, man.
It works. It works really fucking well.
What were you drinking, by the way?
This time I was drinking a Ballast Point. You can't see that shit at all. Ballast Point Victory at Sea. This is a 10% beer. It's a vanilla coffee stout or porter.
Yeah. Hold on. Bring it back. Bring it back, Hector. Hold on. Let me do this here. There we go.
Ballast Point. You can't see. There's a stupid glare. Stupid iMac. Well, whatever. But now I'm drinking a strawberry beer.
Is it a lambic?
No. This is a strawberry ale, and it's delicious.
Neat.
Yeah. Thank you for taking so much interest in my alcoholism, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's see. We'll wait till Jarrid gets back because I want him to close us out on a jam anyway. But while we're waiting for him, let's go ahead and let's see what other
Ask
videos
away,
we
baby.
got.
Ask away. Give me the deep cuts and stuff.
I know, right? That's what I'm trying to find. Okay, so this is kind of one we didn't really get to talk about earlier, which let's see, where is it?
While you're looking for that, let me just say that your video game is pissing me off.
Ah!
I am so bad at it. I'm so bad at it, and it's the type that, like, I refuse to accept my lack of coordination.
Okay.
So it keeps bringing me back. I try over and over and over again, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, JC.
Dude, that's kind of, so it's funny because I do get a lot of crap for that. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. Like, I don't know if you saw that post I made a little while ago of someone posting that they bought it for like 34 cents on the store, and they're like, can I get my money back? I gladly would. They bought it on the Switch, though, so I honestly, they would just have to do that with Nintendo.
It's out of your hands.
Yeah, it's out of my hands. But I actually contemplated doing a panel where I call it, what was it? I kind of lost my train of thought of what it was, but it was something along the lines of, my game's worth $5, but tell me why it's not to you, and I'll give you your money back. And I would actually give people their money back. I thought about doing something like that, which I'm still kind of toying around with because I think that's kind of neat. Because it's a way for someone to just get like upfront about, or just being real about the game, and then just kind of like giving me realistic feedback that I'm all ready for. You know what I mean?
But is it even realistic feedback? Because what I've learned in the last few, 10 years is that people are fucking petty, and they are whiny, and you can't even take feedback like that seriously. Like, I personally welcome critical feedback, if it's negative or not, but if it's valid. Not just to whine, not just to fucking complain and be dramatic and shit like that,
Right.
So how can you differentiate between like critical, honest, helpful feedback, even if it is negative? Because I personally, whether it was in music back then or video now, like, don't fucking sugarcoat it. I know your friend. I know we're friends. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Fucking tell me the truth, really, because that's the only way I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
Is if you're honest. Don't tiptoe around stuff. Like, I'm not going to get hurt. If you're not being malicious, if you're not being a total fucking asshole about it, or just to be mean, give it to me, like, straight up. Because how the fuck else are you going to learn, really? If people are going to tell you 100% all the time, oh, it's great, it's fantastic, it's very biased, and I don't want to say dishonest in a negative way, but like, it's not pure. It's not pure. And how are you supposed to build upon just positive reviews that might be artificial or said to spare your feelings,
Right.
So... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just be honest.
Yeah, well, one of those things is it's definitely just it's on you in a way for you to just take whatever they're telling you, and then kind of just seeing like, well, so when it comes to like game development specifically, it's just the idea of when you take the game to a bunch of different places, you never see the same person over and over. Or I guess you kind of do, but it's always something new, so you kind of, but you do see repetition. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I guess like how Jarrid, like if he's on tour or whatever and he's playing these songs, it's similar. Like, I'm always drawing parallels between the music industry and the game industry when people ask me all these different questions, because it's the idea that like, you're on tour, you personally are always seeing the same thing, like you're performing the same thing over and over again.
Right. So there's that constant. And you can start driving patterns from all your feedback.
Exactly, 100%. So you'll see, like, I'm sure Jarrod's probably had moments where he's had a drunk fucking dude come up to him. He's like, "Why are you playing fucking acoustic, you pussy?" or something. I bet there's got to be a situation like that with as many shows as he's played. I'd be interested to know, of course, but like, and he might see that again at another place, and it's just like, but then you will see the people who like, they will pay attention to like your gear, or granted, Jarrod's not playing with a bunch of pedals and like different things like that, so it's not a conversation to start up that way, but you know what I mean? Like, you'll see patterns in the way people talk about things, and you can start to see if someone, the way I've always said it is, if someone repeats something and you've heard it again and again and again, then it's definitely something you should address. When it comes to game development, obviously when you're writing music, the music's just set. It's not like you're going to take some dude's advice on what the bass line should be or whatever, because you're the bass player and you're just playing the bass, unless it's some situation where like you're
You
just a
can.
terrible bass player. Yeah, but like that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like at a performance of a band, you're not getting feedback necessarily, I guess. Or I don't know. If you guys have a different opinion on that, I'd like to know. But yeah, when it comes to game development, it's a little different because you are actually taking what people are doing, and they're how would I say this? They're actually what's the word? Like they're interacting with it. You know what I mean? To where, like how you're saying, like if you find the game really difficult and you start to see that everyone is having the same problem with it, that's when you address it and you're like, okay, I should probably make this a little more clear, change it up, and again, we could get into that, dude, but obviously this is about you guys, but yeah, I just like to draw those comparisons because it is true. Jarrid, you missed it because when you left, Hector asked me about the game, so that's why we kind of transitioned into this.
But I feel that we can relate on certain points. I mean, even though totally different media, but on the fact of critique and stuff. Like I personally feel, how am I ever going to get better if people don't point out what could have been better? Like just simply voicing an opinion or getting other people's point of views on like, oh, I would have done that camera angle in that way, because in the end you are catering to an audience and the masses. So you have to take into consideration what pleases them.
Right.
You don't want to compromise your own artistic vision, but in the end, the consumer, in a way, is going to be right because they're going to be the ones purchasing or consuming or taking in your product. So that's what I'm getting at. Like, what was I getting at? Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, so like I could ask Jarrid the same thing, and it is something I'm actually curious about, man. Is like, have you had situations like that where you've come across people that have been at your shows that have told you kind of like, oh, what, well, I mean, you're getting the idea of what we're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Like feedback or
one of the main ones is something. I shouldn't say that I can't help it, but like this is how I pay my fucking bills, and mo people, mo problems. I just can't really afford to tour with the band and pay my mortgage.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
And so I'll have a lot of people like people that come to all my shows, this and that. It's like, man, I'd just really like to see you with a band, and they're like, they mean it.
Yeah.
They're like, kind of want to, kind of don't want to just see you with an acoustic guitar anymore. It's just like, yeah, man, me too. So like, would you pay $20 at the door though? What I mean?
Exactly.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I got fucking kids. So, so yeah, I mean that one, but it does like it, it bothers me, but I just kind of do my best to put on the best show that I can as who I am, and and that's the deal.
So this I hope you don't mind me kind of cutting in here, because this is something that definitely relates back to the stuff that I've been doing lately with like game development stuff, because when I see people at these shows and they want to make a video game themselves, right? Like this is something that I always point out, is the idea of you're going to make sacrifices in a variety of different ways. The thing is, you have to own those sacrifices. You have to own your decisions. And this is what I always mention to these people, is the idea of like how Jarrid is like doing that. Like, obviously he's getting these people that are telling him, I want to see you with a band. I want to see you with a band. And it bothers him, but only to a certain point, right? Like he still has to do what he has to do. And I'm sure, and don't let me put words in your mouth, man, but I feel like this is the thing, is this is kind of your sacrifice, in that you're willing to have some of those people be like, kind of, I don't know if upset is the right word, because you would know them more than I would, but disappointed maybe. You know what I'm getting at? And it's like, as long as you own that and you understand that you're doing what you're doing because you kind of have to, you'll be hella more happy with what you're doing than if you just cater to that, and now all of a sudden Jarrid's fucking not necessarily broke, but he's having to do something he doesn't want to and doesn't fully agree with, just to like meet the need of, like how you were saying, Hector, the masses or whatever you said.
That's where you have to recognize the outliers. Yes, there's a little tiny part of us that like wants to have the full band. Let's, for the sake of argument, in Jarrod's case, sure, he might want to have a full band, but like if one, or let's say even 5 out of the 50 people at his show are saying like, hey man, you should fucking do like the full jam, that's where I think it's your responsibility to be able to disassociate yourself from personally taking that as not necessarily an attack, but like, like and I don't want to say invalid criticism, but recognize where like, you guys, I get it, maybe you might be right, but like I see what I'm doing is working for the majority. And this is separating from like your personal vision and the compromise of like what would appease the masses,
Right.
But yeah, I think it's up to us as the creators of this art to differentiate like what's valid and what's just an angry troll,
Yeah.
And
I think
there's
that's
some
easy
people,
to find, though. Sorry, go ahead.
You're right, but
yeah.
some people take it all personally. Some people take it like hard and let it like fucking like cook under their brain and really get to them, and I understand that as an artist, like don't take that one comment on the fucking online forum. Yeah, exactly. But how hard is that? I know that one negative comment's like, oh fuck, no, you want 100% positive review, but that one little negative comment, even if you have like 100 like great reviews, that one negative comment gets under your skin, and into your brain. And it's hard.
Well, I just think as straight up like humans, we're just totally irrational. So it does get to a point where again, it's like a personal responsibility, like how well you deal with that, right, is definitely individually based. Jarrid, we've kind of let you in the corner there for a while, but if you feel like expanding on that. One thing I did want to ask you about that, it kind of goes with this though, is the question is like to Jarrid specifically, have you noticed like a drop in attendance to your shows or any kind of drop in, that like sales or anything because of that?
No, and I mean, if anything, my attendance continues to gradually go up. I hope it will continue to do that after all this. This is probably a real momentum fucking killer for me, but But yeah, the goal, of course, like I want to get to that level to where I can start touring with a band and what, of course I'd like to do that, but it's just like when somebody says that, it's just like, I just can't do that. I just can't fucking do it. So, sorry.
No, I think that's what it is, right? Is you just have to justify it. Sorry.
I just can't fucking do it. So, sorry. But yeah, I want to get there and I don't know, maybe I will one day. I'm kind of like irrationally independent. I could work with people. I could probably be on a label and all that shit if I wanted to, but like, I'm pretty good at doing this shit on my own, and that might quicken the process, or so I don't know if I want to say like, I don't know if I prefer that or not, but I do like the independence that I have because I have had managers, I have had booking agencies, and I have had record labels, and there's always a clash there, something that's, and so to be able to do it on my own, and maybe I'm stumping the progression of my career in a way for doing it the way that I'm doing it, but I'm happy. I don't have to worry about shit, and because the main thing in the music business is nobody's in a fucking like, it's all about getting it done, and everybody I've worked at, anytime I've ever had a manager or booking agent or record label and whatnot, like I just always felt like I was working harder than they do, and off on a different tangent here, but
no one's going to love your stuff as much as you do, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to work as hard as I'm going to work on what I'm doing. Yeah, and But going back, talking about trolls and shit, I just started thinking about this as I'm sitting here having too many goddamn drinks at this point.
Both of you, man. That's what I think happens when you guys start to drink is you start to think about all the trolls, and then you're like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
You're the one who brought it up, man. There's this guy. So I've got a friend of mine in Austin. Like, I've known this girl my whole life. She is from the town that my parents grew up in. So I've known her since, go visit and stuff. And there's this, anyway, I don't even know this fucking dude, but like, she'll go to my shows and she'll like post me, and supposedly, I guess I'm supposed to know this guy, but I don't fucking know him, but he'll always post, fucking Jarrid doesn't enunciate. Like, he'll always, and I'm like tagged in these things, and he's like, before there was even social media, back in conversation days, he'd send me these, like, I really like your shit, I just wish you would enunciate. So like, this guy for like,
he's been around that long?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Years, like posting on shit, and any time that my friend Michelle will like post something, this fucker will be like, God, he's still 20 years, he still doesn't fucking enunciate. It's like, fuck you, man. So like one day I kind of trolled him to like see who this guy, he works in a tire shop. So it's like, fuck you, man. Like,
holy shit, dude, he's in the chat right now. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Like he'll start with a compliment, and then he always ends it with, I just wish you'd fucking enunciate. Like,
what the hell?
Yeah, fuck that guy, man.
That's some like, what's that called? Like, holy crap, he's been around that long? That's some love. That's some admiration. Like,
It's like
crazy.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? There's actually a saying for that kind of thing where, like, the enemies. It's not the enemy is the enemy of my friend or whatever. It's there's something about someone who sticks. It's like he's your Joker, dude. He's your fucking Joker.
He's your nemesis.
Yeah. There you go, nemesis. I can't believe I couldn't even think of that stupid word.
And it's like how long he's been around. So every time I see that, it's just like, God, you're still fucking at it, man. Like,
yeah.
Jesus,
That's some dedication. That's some
fucking
like, true dedication.
Yeah.
Probably hot fucking guy, I guess.
Yeah. Jarrid, how about you play us another jam, dude? It's been a little while.
Yeah.
You cool with that? All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you gonna bust out, man?
Yeah.
I got to switch guitars. I'm gonna do because I'm plugging my shit, and I want people to listen to it. And this is partially for JC. This is my Counting Crows cover.
Oh, nice. All right, give me a sec, dude. I was actually gonna say something that it'd be badass if you just pulled out a guitar and it was 2 fucking acoustics. Dude, that'd be metal as fuck. That'd be awesome. Yeah, start making this stupid joke, and you're about to play this really dark song. Fuck.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Sorry, I don't mean to distract you. Are you ready to jam?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, let me go full screen here. Sorry. Let's do this. There you go, man. Do your thing.
Right on. And now that I'm full screen, got the shot. First off, I changed guitars because it's a Counting Crows cover, and he plays it on piano. I always wanted to cover this song, but I had to like tune the guitar all fucked up. Like I invented this tune, kind of like a open F in a way, for anybody that gives a shit about that. But going back to JC talking about shows where you show up and you just don't know what the fuck's going on. This was back in the conversation days. I was on tour. I played in Kansas City, and somebody had stole my guitar back in Tucson. I played a show, and I went into Denny's and had breakfast, and I came out, and somebody had stole my fucking guitar. And I had to borrow this shitty Yamaha. And so anyway, I was on tour again. I was playing in Kansas City, and it turned out it was just a venue. I just thought it was a show, whatever, and it was Reggie and the Full Effects going away party. They were going on tour with some big pop punk band that everybody's heard of, and I can't think of their fucking name right now. But anyway, what's his name from the Get Up Kids, singer guy, and I should also know his name. It starts with a J, I think. So after I play, I'm walking around, I'm selling CDs to everybody, not just waiting at the merch table. Like I'm walking around selling CDs to everybody. And I just went up to him. I was like, fuck it. He's in my favorite band. Why not the Get Up Kids? And why not just talk to this dude? And so I went up and I was like, hey man, I'm just on want to buy a CD for me? You know, I was kind of drunk at this point too. He's like, yeah, man, I'll buy your fucking CD. And he gave me like $300 or $400 for my CD. I think he was drunk too. I don't think he necessarily meant to do that. But my guitar had been stolen. I went, and musicians' friends, like outlet stores in Kansas City. And I went and I bought this guitar. So I can say that, you know, the dude from the Get Up Kids bought me this guitar. That's my story. And so it's cool. Anyway, here's my Counting Crows cover, which is out now. Please listen lots. I am colorblind. Coffee black and egg white. Pull me out from inside. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am taffy stalk and tongue tie. Shutter shook and uptight. Pull me out from inside. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am fine. I am covered in skin. No one gets to come in. Pull me out from inside. I am folded and unfolded and unfolding. I am colorblind. Coffee black and egg white. Pull me out from inside. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am fine. I am fine. I am fine.
Sorry, I muted my mic.
You guys hear the guitar
Who
on
bought you
that?
that guitar?
The dude from the Get Up Kids
From
and Reggie
Reggie
and
or
the Full
Get Up
Effect.
Kids?
He's in both. The keyboard player for the Get Up Kids is the guy from Reggie and the Full Effect.
Yeah, fucking Reggie,
Fucking
dude.
James Deweese.
Yeah.
James
Yeah.
Deweese.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that guy bought me.
Fucking
He didn't.
cool.
He didn't buy. He didn't give me money and say, "Go buy a guitar, bro." He gave me like $400 for a fucking CD. So I bought a guitar because somebody had stolen it. And I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I said, I don't know that he meant to give me that much money because he was like fucking hammered.
I'm sure he did.
He did, but yeah, I mean, he meant to give me a wad. Yeah, and he bought a conversation CD for like $400. What's
Fucking
funny,
cool.
like,
Yeah.
here's how long ago this was. So when I first got to the show, this was like, I don't know why I didn't think of this when you were asking about shows where you show up. Like it was Reggie and the Full Effect was going on tour with name big pop punk band, like cheesy one.
Oh, wasn't it Gwar?
No.
Okay, that must have been another story. Yeah. Well, so
more story.
yeah, Jarrid shared a story about Gwar on the episode 7. It was pretty cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they were going on tour with, God, I wish I could think of the fucking, anyway, it doesn't matter. But it was Reggie and the Full Effect, and it was like their going away party just happened to be my show, you know, and it was like me and some other acoustic dude playing. And this was a long time ago. So I walk in the show, it's him, it was him. And my kids at the time were like my favorite fucking band. He's sitting there, and he had a BlackBerry. It was like the first time I had seen a BlackBerry. And to be quite honest, it was the first fucking time he had seen a BlackBerry. Like, he had gotten it that day, and he didn't even know how to use it. And he was just like showing it to everybody because it looked, you know, it was like a fucking laptop or whatever. That's all at that, but it was just like, that's the main thing I remember about it. And then we all got wasted, and he gave me money for my guitar that I bought that guitar with. It was fucking cool. Sweet. Good night.
No, that's awesome, man.
Love Reggie and the Full Effect. I've only gotten to seeing them once, and I lost my fucking mind. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that guy is fucking talented, right? He is like, Jesus Christ. That dude is savant for sure. Like, yeah, not even kidding.
Oh.
Yeah. No, those are the stories I was talking about, man. Because yeah, that is. I put you on the spot, so that's why you probably didn't think about it. But
yeah, I hope that didn't come off awkwardly. But yeah, I thought about it.
No, not at all.
Oh yeah, that dude gave me the money for this.
Yeah, no, that went perfectly with your change in guitar there. Yeah.
Oh man, I miss playing music too.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. So Hector, we'll go on that for a little bit. I do want you to close us out with a jam, if you don't mind, Jarrid. So just kind of think of something you want to close out with.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Hector. Originally, when I was trying to think of a title for the game, for the episode, yeah, sir. For the episode, I was trying to fit thug in there somehow, like a thug walks into a party or something like that, but I couldn't, I really, for whatever reason, the whole guy at the party with the guitar thing, I think I really like that a lot more. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then with Jarrid, like it just, I stuck with it. But yeah, so I did want to talk a little bit about that if you want, about thug and stuff like that. And that you're also a musician. Obviously, I mentioned this at the very, very beginning, that we played together for a bit when we lost our bass player and devices, and we needed a bass player. You came into my life, bro, and then
Yeah.
we brought you into the band or whatever. Short stint, wasn't too long, but it was rad. And then you've done other stuff on the side as well, and then we did that one man band show thing that you put together for, like, I did Howard Rourke, and then you had like 2 other people, I think, do things, and then you did your own thing as well.
Man, that sucked. That was my pedal boards didn't work. My pedal board didn't work, and that's the most important thing of that show. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, but it was neat though, right? Like, again, it's like learning experience all the time, right? So like, my first show didn't go that well either, but you learn from it. You're like, well, what did I do wrong, right? It's like if you start to take too much of that stuff to heart, you kind of like how you're talking about. That's, I think, the feedback that you should take to heart is the stuff where you're responsible for whatever happened. Whether it was the pedals or whatever that jacked up. It wasn't like someone spilled something on your shit and now you can't perform a show. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of different. It's stuff that's out of your control, but when it's stuff that you can learn from. I think you can learn a lot more from that kind of stuff.
Oh, I learned a lot. Like, oddly enough, like Jarrid and I were just talking about way back in the day, I guess when we were way younger, how his bass player went through this Primus phase and wanted to fucking put Les
All the
Claypool
multi-taps.
lines in yeah, exactly, in a song or a band that it totally does not belong to. And I said, you know what? I fell victim to the Primus thing too, like totally in a punk band or whatever band I was in. Like, hey, let's put in this crazy fucking bass line that doesn't fit at all, but I want to do it,
Yeah.
But that's I think that's where you mature as a musician, fucking learning your place, what fits the song,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, Jarrid? Who was that? Was that George?
No. It was my metal band Mojo back.
Oh man. Talk about deep cuts, dude.
Yeah, deep cuts, man. Yeah, fucking deep cut.
Yeah.
No, Henry, if everybody remembers that guy, I don't know if you guys know that dude.
Matt Henry?
Matt Henry. Hank's like everybody. That was the other thing about Matt. Like he just fucking knew everybody. He, ironically, I guess if you guys don't know him, this isn't cool to you, but
Yeah.
he lived in Austin forever. I hung out with him a few times, but he lives here, like kind of around Fort Worth somewhere. And we were all together, and we just haven't done it yet. But he like manages apartments somewhere around here. But I'm gonna go hang out with that fucker.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Matt Henry. Surely, if anybody from EP is watching this, that's around our age,
Yeah.
somebody knows Matt Henry. Man, that guy was like famous.
Huh.
Just to clarify, Jarrid, was it Mojo or was it you, Little Red Wagon? I'm trying to put it together.
Little Red Wagon.
That was the
Yeah.
name of a band, Hector?
No, a song.
Oh.
No, but yeah, I know what you're talking about because that sounds like super familiar. That wasn't us though. We were like a
Who the fuck was it?
Pantera kind of band.
At the Jim Farrell house, like.
Yeah, that was Everyday Things. Was it one of their
Ah,
songs?
that's it. Okay. I got it mixed up.
Kevin
All right.
Baker. God, what was our bass player's name? That dude was pretty cool. Can't think of his name, but anyway.
Yeah, well, again, Jarrid, the very first time I ever met you was, like, we met obviously later, like, properly met, but we played a show together a long time ago at Crossroads. Yeah, and that's the first time I ever saw you perform, and even back then, I was still like, what the hell, this was weird, because, like, I don't think you were singing at the time. Or were you the singer of Mojo?
No.
Okay.
But that was probably level though, because
Could have
Mojo
been.
we didn't play. Yeah, Mojo never played at Crossroads. Like,
Okay. Because I was
That
going to
was-
say, I remember you being the singer, so it had to have been level then. It was right around that time for sure.
yeah,
So-
like we used to play there a lot, like in the very, very fucking beginning. That dude Toby Delgado. I don't know if you guys know that guy. He lives in
No.
Austin. I'm still in touch with that guy, but we were good friends in high
Everybody
school.
moves to Austin.
Austin Beef.
Yeah, Austin or LA, man. Austin, LA, or Phoenix. Nobody stays in El Paso.
Austin Beef, bro. Hashtag Austin Beef.
We used to play Crossroads a lot, like in the beginning, because my buddy Toby was Captain Christian, and that was kind of a Christian venue, and he would hook that up a lot.
That was
So-
behind Albertsons on Dyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Northeast, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
plenty
a
of shows then.
yeah. I should have brought this up last week when Jacob was on because there was a show where Undaunted played there, and they locked the doors and locked everyone in just to give like some kind of prayer or worship thing. It was fucking weird, man. It was
You know
some
what?
cult
That
ass
happened-
shit.
That happened to me off of like some weird venue. I don't know if you remember, off of I-10, kind of like a little bit down from Bowl El Paso. There was a Christian venue there,
Oh shit.
and we didn't know. And exactly that happened. Some badass band that was playing a bunch of covers of Sponge covers, and we're like, fuck yeah, cool. And then they locked us in, and they're like, okay, everybody, now it's time for like, and they went into this weird thing where like all the kids who knew what was up, they were like raising their hands, and they were like, it's time for us to go. And the fuckers didn't let us leave. Some like huge ass guy was just like, nope, watch. I'm like,
That's crazy.
like they
Praise
locked
Jesus,
us in there
boy.
and wouldn't let us out.
Yeah. What'd you say, Jarrid?
You're gonna praise Jesus, boy.
And then he just cracks up the whip, dude. Holy shit. That's awesome. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, man, that's fucking cool. Yeah, because there was another venue that was opened by, I think it was the guy who owns the bagel shop or whatever. Wayside? Was it Wayside? Wayside was another one of those.
Oh yeah, across from Hank's.
Yeah. Yeah, Wayside
Yeah.
was another of one of those kind of Christian venues also. They got pissed at me once because we played a show there and I said something like, fuck. And yeah, like I think we got taken off the stage. That's probably why I don't remember the show that well.
I
Go
got
ahead.
banned from Crossroads for saying something fucked up on stage. Like we got, and
Yeah.
what's
But they warned you. They warned you heavily before you played.
Yeah, they did. I feel, and you know what? Honestly, like back then I didn't give it, but I feel bad now. Like what you're walking into.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't give a shit about that kind of thing, but people do. Like
Yeah.
I can respect that. That's fine if that's what you're into, and I shouldn't have done that. But I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I think that's
Man.
it goes back to that again, dude. The idea of like, hey, if you're signing up for this, like,
yeah.
don't be a dick either way, like either side. I mean, because you're going to their territory, man. So
I saw
didn't
some
actually
pretty big bands at Wayside.
really,
Like
who?
Cursive.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
Oh, I
how
could
you
see
just
that.
Cursive? And like,
Yeah.
You did. Yeah, I remember
you
that.
were there?
I wasn't there, but I knew they played there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to, like, I was out of town or something fucked up, but yeah, I knew they were playing. I was upset that I couldn't go.
yeah. You know what I thought was weird, and this kind of goes back to the deep cut fucking venue thing. Is Joe Dorgan followed me on YouTube the other day, which I thought was kind of crazy. When we were talking
cool.
about, I know, right? Like, just going back to old school, like, mainstays of El Paso. Like 101 was one of those. 101 was a venue
Yeah.
that was that E9 for a bit. Obviously, 101 was a bit longer, but
And what was the
You know
other one?
what?
That Area 51
Area-
or whatever?
yeah, that's what E9 became, I think. Yeah,
Dude, Joe was always really good to us, like level, like that, the initial like lineup when we got our shit straight. But we opened for Modern English at Area 51 or whatever.
yeah,
To this day, that is still like the coolest fucking show I'd ever played. Because it was like, at the time, it was by far the biggest fucking show I had ever played.
yeah.
And just, I mean, it was just like, like, yeah, this is what I want to do with my life.
Awesome.
Like that just solidified that shit. But we played a bunch of those kind of, for a little while, we were like one of his go-to bands to open, like we opened for Alien Ant Farm and so, some other
Nice.
ones.
I saw that.
Yeah, anyway, the point is, Joe he's a good guy, man. He's always really
100%.
good.
You know what's crazy? I was just talking to my girlfriend Angelina about it, and we're both like super into like 80s music, right? And we're talking about like stuff to do in El Paso, and sometimes we have this urge to just go dance ridiculously to 80s music. And I told her nonstop about retro night, Saturday nights, I guess, at 101.
Yeah.
And man, like the drink specials, and we would get hammered and just like awesome 80s music. And you could just dance and be like goofy and silly and stuff. And how there is not anything like that in El Paso anymore at all, unfortunately. So that's when I praised Joe Dorgan for keeping it as long as he could, and how
long as he did,
awesome those days were. Like, I just want a fucking 80s dance club night, but there's not.
Yeah, man, he did a lot. You gotta and really his heyday was even before our time. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was that long ago. Man, he did a lot for this town. He really, like, that guy was what was going on. He had the radio show. Remember that? He had a radio show. He had Club 1, and then then he ended up with like a few places. I just kind of wonder. I mean, I wonder what happened to that. And he was a super cool guy too. Like, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the retro nights, dude. That guy was. Yeah. Shout out to fucking Joe Dorgan, man. That guy.
Yeah,
pulled it
100%,
off,
man. Yeah, like he would always bring, what was it, Anything Box. Like he brought a lot of those bands like that back in the day. Yeah, totally.
He was a music fan. Like, he kind of had a thing that he liked, and he would bring it all the time, and it was really kind of in line with what everybody was into at the time too, though. So yeah, man, I hadn't thought of that.
That's
guy
the
in a
thing,
while,
like running your business as a fan, knowing you might lose your ass on costs or whatever, or guarantees, but still you're a fan, as opposed to running it as far as just business sense,
Well,
like, this will make money and whatnot.
Yeah, well, because again, that goes back, dude, to the idea of you have to love what you do, otherwise you're going to suck at it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to hold... I think the reason Joe Dorgan lasted so long doing that, and again, like how Jared said, he had his own radio show, all that stuff. He was always... Even when that was over, he would be on the radio with, like, Marina and all that stuff. It's like, he loved... You could tell he loved what he did. And as far as I know, he never, like, screwed people over. You know what I mean? It wasn't like... Yeah, like, he was always, like, super fair about... being able to pay the bands that would come into town, obviously the big bands and all that stuff. Like, there's a reason he lasted that long, is because he loved doing it.
It's integrity, honesty, and just like true love that you can tell.
Yeah.
Like shit, like he was out there on those fucking decks, like spinning all those 80s songs every night at those retro songs because he loved that shit. And you could tell, and everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good guy, man. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
God, he's got to be like 60 something.
Yeah, he's still around, dude, because I ran into him not too long ago, like in person. And then before that, like the last time I remember seeing him was he was at a there was I don't know if Speaking Rock still does this, but they used to do those things where they would have like cover bands come in and just do it out there for free or whatever. But there was also this one time where they did that one thing where it was like Sugar Ray, Lit, not Goo Goo Dolls, Gin Blossoms and stuff like that, right? Like old 90s kind of bands, yeah. And they
the 4th of July, I went to that one.
Was that okay? Yeah, at Speaking Rock, right? So like it was one of those free things, and so like I remember running into him, and we hung out pretty much the whole time just talking about stuff, and he was like, I don't know how they're doing this, where they're able to do this show for free, and still be able to come out profitable. But I think like what he was thinking was it was probably just the alcohol sales or something, because the show is free, so people are going to spend the money on the alcohol.
That is a fucking, like, we discussed this. Well, I've discussed it with plenty of people. It's a fucking a detrimental but awesome fucking business model. Free. Mm-hmm. Like, just like I commented on your last episode, we're used to free shows now. Like, and it works to a point for like Speaking Rock because, dude, that place was packed. You got to admit that place was fucking packed. Yeah. And the alcohol sales were through the roof. That line that you had to stand in. So that business model worked. For like smaller venues, I guess it could work to a point. But again, we're spoiled on free shows. Yeah. To the point where I admit, like, I go to a show and it's like, holy shit, there's a $5 cover charge? And I begrudgingly like, okay, fine, you know? Right. We're getting spoiled. And I think that's kind of not ruining, I want to say a different word for it, but like acclimating us to not appreciate or be willing to pay for artistry, like live music and stuff, you know? And that's dangerous. That's a fine line that we're walking here, I think.
Well, what I can say to that too, like doing it for a living, I play, and it also has a lot to do with like the age and the bracket and, you know, the money gigs that I get, but like I love playing free shows because it's a guarantee. Like we're going to pay you $250 or what, you know, whatever. I play for a couple hours or, you know, whatever the deal is. And it's cool. I know I'm getting paid. There's always, you know, I get some beer or whatever, but you know what? The people don't really give a shit. Mm-hmm. So
it's like a double-edged sword, huh?
Yeah, so the guarantee's good, but when I jump into like a cooler show where people are paying a cover, they care, I'm going to sell a lot of merch, and I'm going to like move the ball forward on my popularity. It's more like I almost see that as more risky going into it, and so I like, you know, I've kind of gotten to the point talking about the free like it's kind of good for everybody except the venue if it bombs. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
there's always that's a risk they're willing to take.
And just the amenities are always good at the free shows as well. But again, like I said, I'm not moving the ball forward necessarily. The crowd is not, you know, like you said, they're just not as into it, you know, because when you pay a cover at the door, you know, you want to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You want to go to the show. So, anyway, it's just funny you brought that in my head about it. Like, yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, I think that's where we have to differentiate, you know, your crowds like yours, like pulling out of my ass here. That time I went and saw you at, was it Bourbon and Brews, like way on the west side of town, you know, free show, but it was an older crowd, obviously disposable income and stuff like that, as opposed to like the gutter punk scene where like bunch of like really young kids, not a lot of disposable income, so they're going to choose it's just more limited, I guess.
Or I mean that's was that Bourbon and Brew? Anyway, it was one of Matt Lynch's places, on the
Yes.
west side. And yeah, I mean, I got paid at least a couple $100, and I did actually sold a bunch of shit that night. I think I made, I might have made like $400 that night. I was kind of blown away because my voice was a little fucked up too. But
Holy shit.
yeah, I mean, I'd much rather play at Nature House, and pull in, whatever they can give me at the end of the night plus the merch that I sell. But it goes back. I got fucking kids, so gotta
Well, it
do
goes
both.
back. Yeah, and it goes back to that, like the shows you were talking about last time, Jarrid, where like the shows in Juarez, right, where it was like you'd play the shows and the kids were like super fucking into it, but no one had money to buy anything. Like they obviously just spent their money on beer or whatever.
Couldn't give it away.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I don't mean to go off on too much of a tangent, but there's a little. I'm working on a post about this kind of thing regarding the game and an experiment I did this past week that has to do with kind of like the value of something and perceived value of things. Like for example, Jarrid, I've been meaning to ask you this, but like when you're selling merch, right? Do you ever do the thing of like pay what you want kind of thing, like at a show? Or are you always like, this is the set price for what this is, or whatever the case?
No, the prices are negotiable. I've got, and I own the label that I'm on, so I'm able to do this.
100%. Yeah.
Whereas I would not be able to do that. But yeah, I've got like the bottom of the barrel that I'll take, but I've got what I'm asking. And I always tell people up front, I'm asking this much, but I'll take this much, at least this much,
Right.
And I give them here's my price and here's what I'll take. And they'll typically 9 out of 10 times they'll give me what I'm asking,
Right.
for the record or the shirt or whatever. But, if they don't have as much money, I want them to walk away with something because I'm trying to build the deal. So as long as I'm not losing my ass and, I have to have a profit margin on the shit that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll have some people sometimes just like, this is all I got, or they want to spend their fucking money on beer or whatever, but,
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, short answer. Yeah. I mean, I will, prices are very negotiable. Yeah.
Right. Or like one
And
of those
that's the
things where you
thing.
see, oh, sorry, Hector, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the thing because I think I've seen you do this before, Jarrid, where it's like you'll have a CD, someone wants to buy a shirt, but then you're like, okay, well then I'll give you 2 CDs and a shirt for this amount instead. So you'll try to do that kind of deal stuff with them too, right? Because it makes them feel good about the deal. It makes them feel like, oh, this dude actually wants me to like have this stuff, and you work.
If they don't leave with something, what did you
accomplish?
What are they gonna? Yeah. What are they gonna? My songs forever, So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed about Jarrid. Like, you're a really fucking good salesman.
Yeah.
Like, you have that way about you. You have that personality or that.
It's charisma, man.
Cadence.
It's
exact. There you go.
Yeah.
Charisma.
Yeah. It's like you don't come across as pushy. You just come across as like proud of what you have.
I want to help you out, and
I want to help you buy my album. What could I do?
Exactly. The confidence of knowing what you're worth.
Yeah.
Yet, that personable relationship you instantly build with making that transaction, which is such like the intricacy and the fine tuning of that goes like way into like psychology and shit. But yeah, doing that flawless, easy. You make it look easy,
Yeah.
Well,
you're not trying to sell them.
I've been doing it, so I mean, it is a spiel to a degree, but it's fun. Like I like to walk around, talk to the people. It gives me an opportunity. If you just stand at the fucking merch table, like,
oh yeah,
you might see a couple of records or what, but it's cool to walk around, talk to people, and just kind of leave your mark. What are you doing? You drove all that fucking way to play a show. You might as well, the idea. And I'm just a dude with a guitar. Like, I'm not setting myself on fire or,
yeah.
The only fucking pedal that I have. You know what I mean? So
you're right.
I just,
and that's what I'm saying. You make it look easy. Like
Right.
someone like me personally, I've had such a hard time like selling. Or if you want to get into that one particular subject, like selling yourself,
Hmm.
I feel intrusive. I feel like almost offensive. Why? Why? When you know your worth, like I have confidence in what I do. I know my worth, and I have such cognitive dissonance as far as being firm. Like okay, I'll like if I'm working out a deal, I'll be like, okay, fine. Like I keep on backing down to a point where it's not detrimental, but like I devalue myself, and I feel it later, and I kind of regret it.
Yeah.
Um, not saying anything like personally or singling anybody out, but I feel like I do that a lot, where it's hard for me to fucking set a price, stand firm, and have confidence. Like, no, if you're going with me, I'm going to do a badass job, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I think it has a lot to do with the geographical boundaries as well. If we want to get into that whole technical aspect, El Paso is lower income, more haggling price kind of. You don't expect big prices. But when I do research on other forums, like say LA or places like San Antonio, people are like fucking selling their services for like, holy shit, you're getting that much for it? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to pull that shit off here, and no fucking way. So I'm so confused.
Well,
The
that
size of the town
yeah.
has a bit to do with it too. El Paso is a big city, but it's an isolated town. So like, I'll use San Antonio as an example because I was there for so long. And San Antonio is literally twice as big as El Paso. But then it's also got all the little places around it. So El Paso is a big city, but there's no suburbs. There's no, I mean, it's just, you don't have, the market. It's a smaller market. It just is. It's a smaller market. So kind of is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah,
And
and
it's hard
that's
to compete with people who are willing to do stuff for like dirt cheap. Like, holy shit, that guy did this for how much? How does he even live? And how do you compete with that? No matter what, the basic human concept is like, hey, I'm going to try to pay as little as possible, and that's it. Not even thinking about quality or other factors that go into what a person might be charging for. Like that guy that told you, JC, like 34 cents, like, fuck it. But they have no idea the fucking hours and work and like pain and just
years.
mental years that you put into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How they trivialize it in an instant. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what's
Well,
so hard.
Because they have no connection to it, man. That's kind of the thing. Is it's like, so it definitely is just all on you. Like, are you willing to just take that, or are you like, yeah, it is definitely like you just have to. You're the one who has to set that down. Is like, again, it goes back to the ownership of your whatever your sacrifice is going to be, right? Like, are you going to sacrifice, being the badass in El Paso who does these videos, who charges that much and has a name to back it up, right? Like the following's the wrong word, but clientele, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously you've been seeing these videos this whole time and they're all yours, you know what I mean? Like, how many other people in town could say that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of do just have to own that yourself and just do that. Some people kind of do have that in them. Some people don't. It just like, are you going to work at it? You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are some guys in town that I will admit, like, holy shit, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But
are they as easy to work with, Like,
I don't think I'm easy to work with. I'm a grumpy motherfucker.
That's why I thought pairing you guys together would be perfect, because you guys have worked with each other, so that's pretty neat.
It's and that's the thing, the customer service, or that aura that you put out. Are you easy to work with? I try to be, but I guess maybe I sabotage myself because I know sometimes I'm like, I get in my moods. That's it. I'm a moody motherfucker. And
Okay.
if I'm in that mood, I'm going to tell you, no, you're wrong. This is the way we should do it. And sometimes, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. Ugh.
Well, I mean that, obviously Jarrid doesn't seem to mind. He's been making videos with you nonstop, so
Yeah,
Thanks,
I don't
man.
see it.
doesn't seem
Pretty
like
easy.
he'd be like he'd be changing customers anytime soon, man. But
I
yeah,
don't even know if you know this. Your turnaround is like amazing. Like nobody is as fast as you are.
there you go.
That's what I like to, that's my selling point,
I was gonna say,
thank you,
is
thank
that
you.
something you could sell on? You know what I mean? Like, what are
Oh,
your
yeah, I mean,
features?
it is.
This video that you're showing right now,
Yeah,
it's complex. Look how many fucking scenes and sets and shit. I turned that around in 2 fucking days. 2 fucking days, the rough cut.
yeah,
Of course there's fine tuning and just fine tuning. Very little details that people don't notice and shit. But 2 days. Thank you though. But I'm afraid that by toting that, people will automatically associate that with compromising quality.
No, man,
Which
no.
I don't think so.
No. Again, that's kind of where you have to show the work and just be like, and show, that if you're willing to commit to that, right? Because that's not easy, dude. Like, but it would probably be a really, like Jarrid just pointed it out, it's probably a really good like selling point. So that's kind of like your bullet point. That would be, my game would be like leaderboards. Yours is like, I fucking turn around in 2 days, bitches, kind of thing.
I think that's where the love comes in, because I love doing this shit and I get fucking excited and involved. Like, no. And like when you're into a fucking book that you're reading and you can't just put it down. That's how I feel about videos sometimes when I'm working on the project. Like, fuck yeah, this is nuts. Yeah. And I get into it and I won't stop until I'm done.
Yeah.
And maybe you're right. I should.
Well, it could be one of those things that's it's your selling point, but at the same time, you also could maybe charge your premium for that particular purpose. You know what I mean? And if they want it slower, then that's where you could start being like, okay, well, I get it for you in like a week. Bring down pricing and stuff. I don't know.
You know what?
Just
One of my favorite, I don't know, sayings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 things. There's quality, speed, and price. Choose 2. Just 2.
There you go. Yeah.
You want it fast and good, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, it's going to be expensive. Fast and good, it's going to be fucking expensive. You want a badass video in 2 days, then it's going to be expensive. You want it fast and cheap, going to compromise on the quality.
Yeah.
The combination of those 3 factors: quality, price, and speed.
Yeah.
But
that's really weird, because I could make a connection with something else that's only 3 things like that too, and you can really only take 2, because that's the thing, is you can never really have all 3, because someone gets screwed in the end if you do it with all 3. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. The conversation.
Ooh.
Oh, what? Jarrod's closing out with a conversation song? Awesome.
Oh shit.
Just kidding. The thing is, that's what I was gonna say, man. Is like, we're going on 3 hours, like the last episode, which is awesome. Like,
Holy
I'm all cool with
shit.
it. Yeah, exactly, dude. This stuff goes by a lot faster than you think. So I think, unless there's anything you guys wanted to expand on, like, I think this would be a nice, good closing here with Jarrid ending us off. Hector, is there anything you want to close off? Any closing thoughts?
Don't make shitty fucking videos. I don't want to name anybody, but I'm really drunk right now. But there's been some fucking videos that I'm disappointed that you would go that route. Don't make shitty videos. Just don't. I know I could do so much better for you, so hit me up. It's all good. If we're friends, we'll work something out. And just don't make shitty videos where the fucking drums don't line up with the goddamn song. Don't. That annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's all for my rant.
That's cool. I was gonna say it would have been cool if you would have ended with like, "Don't make shitty videos. Come to Subharmonic."
That's
Yeah.
gonna be my next.
I've only been,
yes.
I know. What'd you say, Jarrid? You cut out there a bit.
I've only been prepared. I would have had like his theme song or whatever
Oh, right.
ready to go.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, I could have queued it up to do the little thing. He sent me a stinger in these little things that he sent me, or in the videos that he sent. Okay, let me prep this.
Play. I got a girl. Oh, can you play it?
I got a girl.
I got it. Oh,
Trippin'
like
Daisy,
Trippin'
yo.
Daisy?
Oh, shit, man.
No, I can't. That is another band that I played with. I opened for Trippin' Daisy.
There you go.
That was fucking at the attic.
Wow.
You want one of mine? You want a Radiohead cover? You want a conversation?
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh man, maybe you're gonna end us on a double feature, bro. No, just really quick. Not that I want you to play this, even though it would be badass if you did. But I did. I've always wanted to tell you that because I had it over here on the side. I was trying to remember the name of it for so long. It was a song from Last in Line. It's called "I'm Sorry Anyway." Like that's a solid fucking jam, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Wish I knew remembered how to play that one.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I always just like, I think I did this last week where I pointed out another solid jam from yours to just have people go back and listen to or whatever.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
One more little thing that I wanted to say. What is that Chris Farley skit? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember when
You remember when?
5 videos in 5 days or something?
Oh yeah.
Like, holy shit! I think that's the first time we hooked up, and we tried to bust out 5 videos in 5 days, and we did it. And
yeah, we did do it. You know.
And that's when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I look back on those, and like they came out well for me, self-critical, like overly critical, like holy shit, what the fuck was I doing? But I'll admit, Jarrid, I'm sorry. I bamboozled you. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back then.
No, I mean, it was a tall fucking order, man. One of those songs gets a lot of views still. It's the one that Angelina was in a lot, where like a barrier in the fucking desert.
I'm not sorry.
What's that song? Yeah, I'm not sorry. People dig that video. Like, I'll get somebody commented not that long ago on it, like, so the dude fucking kills his girlfriend? That's fucked up. You know? Premise, man. That is the fucking premise.
Yeah.
So,
Imagine that. 5 songs, 5 videos in 5 days, or was it 4 videos in 4 days? Whatever. But still, we fucking pulled it off. And like, holy
5 in like 3 days or something.
oh shit.
You know what's fucked up about that? I didn't bring it up at the time because I didn't, and it's going to be a real downer now too. I was like really distracted. My mom died like 3 days before that shit too.
Oh
when I came
wow.
out there, it's like not even, like not even really with it too.
Right.
So yeah.
You know what? I never. Davey actually told me that, and so I felt like I was awkward. I didn't want to bring it up at that time, and stuff like. So like, it was. Yeah. Anyway.
Good distraction.
Yeah, Jarrid, I was going to say, because I didn't want to talk over you guys, I threw something in the chat to see if anyone wanted to request an original or a cover. I will actually leave that up to you. If you want to play 2 and close this out, that's perfectly fine, unless you want to end with 1. I'm down for 2.
That's up to you.
I'm down for 2. Right. Yeah, I'm down for 2. So
I'm
that
down
way
for 2.
you can give it a change up, because I do like your Radiohead cover. I don't know how crazy that is on your throat, and if you've been drinking enough where it kind of messes you up or anything.
Work them.
I know, right?
Through the ringer.
Yeah.
The trick is that due to quarantine, all my recording, I just haven't really practiced very much. So
right on.
go easy on.
You got all this time in quarantine. You're writing sounds instead of practicing, man.
Yeah, I've been writing my ass I've been writing my ass off.
Yeah.
When I've had a couple of these where I have played, it's like, fuck, I better practice. So,
yeah. No, man. Well, you've been doing well. even if you say you haven't practiced it. But it's kind of one of those things, right? Like, you know your songs pretty much inside and out. It's pretty much just making the hands work.
Yeah,
making the hands line up.
But yeah, if you guys want to, I'll do 2. If people don't give a shit, I'll do it. Why not?
Yeah.
2.
So anyway.
All right. Give me a sec. Let me put you full screen. You're good, man. Do your thing.
All right. This is High and Dry, Radiohead. I just like this song, so I started playing it. And yeah, here we go. Not like that, though. Here we go.
Jumps in a wake up bench. I think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? You're flying on your motorcycle, watching all the ground beneath you drop. You kill yourself for recognition, kill yourself to never ever stop. You've broken out the mirror, you're turning into something you are not. So don't leave me, don't leave me dry. Leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Trying out in conversation, you'll be the one who cannot talk. All your insides pieces, you did the wishing you could still make love. They're the ones who hate you and you think you got them all sussed out. They're the ones who spit at you. You'll be the one screaming out. So don't leave me. Don't leave me try. Don't leave me. Don't leave me dry. You're the best thing that you ever had, the best thing that you ever had. The best thing that you ever had, the best thing you have had is gone away. So don't leave me, don't leave me try. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me try. Don't leave
Awesome, my man. Awesome. All right.
right.
Just wanted to give
You hit those notes.
Yeah, seriously, man. That was solid. That was super solid. Like, eventually, dude, when we get back to the, Monte in chat says, fucking A, man. Well done. Well fucking done.
Oh.
I was not expecting you to play that Radiohead cover, but that was fucking good. I thought you were going to do Creep. Yeah. I didn't even know you did that one, so that's rad, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wanted to come back just to give you both of you guys a thanks again for, sticking this thing out, just hanging out, doing your thing. Hector, if you want to close out with anything real quick.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
These things always go like the time goes way faster than you fucking notice. Like, holy crap, it's been 3 hours already.
Yeah, man.
And it's so cool and awesome to talk to you guys. And awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
Had a good
100%.
time.
100%. Check out Hector at Subharmonic. You can see the link up top, subharmoniccity.com. Check out his work. You've been seeing a lot of it underneath here, and we've obviously been talking about it. The March Divide, same thing. Dude, Jarrid, thank you so much for fucking being my boy, man. Being my co-host for the last 3 episodes, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I'll be your Matt. Oh, never mind. I fucked it up.
My Matt Cameron dude, the fucking that's the drummer for Soundgarden, right?
Yeah, and Pearl Jam. Anyway, your musical counterpart guy.
There you go.
Hurry up and come into town so you could do like a in-studio live thing.
Exactly. That's actually what I was gonna say. Is when this whole thing gets over and you're back in town, man. We got to do this like in person, like we did episode 7. Like it's so much better, and obviously like I have more control in the audio. Like you didn't sound bad at all, man. Like it sounded good. There's something about just kind of like the compression-y type sound that was. It's rad. It sounds cool. I don't think anyone would have any issue with it. It sounds good.
JC, I don't think anybody in town has the fucking quality setup that you have, the abilities that you have to fucking put on an amazing live stream.
Dude, and
you have too much shit.
I was gonna say like if you could see the fucking mess I've got here behind the scenes, it's pretty intense. But yeah, yeah. That's the thing, man. Is it like I said, you got to give a fuck about what you do, man, and hopefully it shows. I try to make this as easy for you guys on your end as possible, but believe me, from my side, it's fucking chaos. I'm surprised I'm able to keep this going. Yeah, I've got the vMix over here, the audio mixer, the chat, and still trying to keep a conversation with you guys going. It's intense. But I think working on the game has helped me with that because it's ADHD all over the place. But yeah, Jarrid, you've kept these people in the chat entertained. Like I said, Monte's a pretty big fan of yours by now.
Appreciate you, Monte.
Fucking A, man. So yeah, next time you're in town, man, we'll do this. One of these days, we should play a show together because that's the one thing I miss more than anything. When you're back in town, like we should do that for sure. As a matter of fact, I'll make it a goal, dude, that the next time you're in town, we'll play a show together.
Yeah, well, as soon as we can fucking do this shit again.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And of course, Hector, fucking bring your shit back together as well, my man. Yeah, hell yeah. Cool. Well, thank you very much, guys. This is going to be Jarrid closing us out here with another jam. It's going to be a surprise, unless he wants to announce it already. That's up to him.
No, kind of trying to figure out what I want to play. So, anyway.
All right. You sure? Don't pressure it, man. You fucking do whatever jam you want, man. Let's go ahead and go full screen here. And this is going to be it. So at the end of this song, we're going to fade out. We are going to stick around after the show just to close everything out. But everybody in the chat, thank you very much for sticking around. This is Jarrid closing us out here.
Bye, Jarrid. Bye.
Later, Hector. Hanging out, man. All right. This song's called I Will Run to You. I think that's what I'm going to do. So wish me luck. I haven't played this in a minute. Sad bastard. I'm closing with sad bastard shit. Apologies.
we do. These intervals get shorter as you're growing up. It's to the best of us, got you through. 'Cause you'll get lost before you're found. Looking back will only slow you down. So don't be afraid to call for help. I'll run to you. I will run to you. When the stars are bright, they'll guide you through the night. Soon be learning what they are. I'll protect you, I'll help you, I'll teach you the best I can. Slowly letting go be the hardest part. 'Cause you'll get lost before you're found. Looking back will only slow you down. So don't be afraid to call for help. 'Cause I'll run to you. I'll run to you.